na no kraba pa usimano edu 910 insurance 4.5 from ya tena se dia agode mu nsam ade bram kopim se dumienu ebebo 3 solid hours agode mu nsam kwa we the weekend edition na ya tena se ya ba sha se dia free nkofo close na afei ya ba fie na ya fisam na wi adwumade no enso atimi adi amamo ananso fu house ma to obi bia nka adwumade no so na Mika say any radio so kwa na betime yeah live our YouTube. Oko YouTube no about Nhyira TV. Nhyira TV no yeah live our YouTube. Okwa no subscribe to no anytime be tenasia. Obenya a video chese Nhyira passports. Ya tenasia dia godemu nsam no edeba. O subscribe we are. Jama say you know because club football is back and it's back for good because I say a pet football there. Football can be especially with the club football. No, yana hard pass. He said, yeah, make me I can say club football is back and EPL and no nyasem kitokra 2026-2027 season and now Friday night football nyasem kitobra Arsenal. I'm gonna take campaign. I know I'm gonna team from say Coventry and at the epim so I'm gonna take Calabranchi. And if Lampard omu team no omone Arsenal and na a boy na Abrantia for can have it if a season enra a chance here which is the Premier League no ono na first player season was a goal if I don't know go game no boy no on a share a first goal at the ma Arsenal Coventry in fact Arsenal shemiensa ama Coventry for no omo entimi anti kanabako kra we HSA afi emsa Arsenal league no pese Wamo assign a defender see Amo anasu bima and the games were Hull City and the Mian Kasami team Manchester United Elekikoff 11:30 yano sa game no so betimi ato dane feature kono Man City atenefe no atwen eye Bournemouth afa Newcastle abobo eye Liverpool Chelsea on Monday and na amonso ebetimi abola liga no 2 games of course big ones no Espanyol Ababo Real Madrid na Elche and so tenefe no mo atwen Barcelona abobo kono oko Syria awo Italy so Inter ebe hosti eye Monza na Genoa and so abo eye Napoli ni na no eye games outdoor ebetimi epiem awo the Serie A Torino and AC Milan and the other games of course and so no yeda hon some the eba Frank League and so no and so Charles Rene and Paris Saint-Germain abobo kono and na ebetimi ade apem so and sorry to be ebe free amonania banana pay na etimi din 70 na no etimi ade amamo ye ba fia se de enanim no GFA eko congress na ye congress congress ni nyina no and say the major stakeholders omo ka biwum de ane yetaka say football people no amna football ni omo dia enti omo nyina no koko shiai akwadwendwene eye Ghana football ho especially the upcoming season which is the Ghana Premier League no omo kwadwendwene ho na ho ene beto da say afi ye league na ye bono do ye ni a headline sponsor but teams ni nyina no obia obobo league ni bia no 18 club A league no de tene say obia ebenya 1 million Ghana cedis as OAP and as obobo league na enso bi winner no ebeje 3 million na sansen sabi beto Ghana manfo say na enfe anytime bia Quatrical league sa anti untimi empe sponsorship bia emfa my league ebi so fu so say ye ni a headline sponsor kra I mean say a league OJ na no headline sponsor name me amount 3 million Ghana cedis there emsa de na bi wo mpa plus car and so ebedwendwen ho any minister some okokan ya it seems any pe bi atweso no say or the Ghana Premier League air to the Premier League no and so on some our hanidi na no yakoba na congress nkomo no ya bedin yi etimi e de amamo unim say Ghana Premier League anasa Ghana yen transfer window no nyame adom akwasi ada ya e na ye ka tum 11:59 kom na say ya kan ni na tum obia entimi e register player bia and so ebiem na ya be so far clubs no league na e chance and the players ben and na almost etimi asensan and the other issues and also no egu board ni na e be cheche adwen etimi edi afa Nhyira 4.5 weekend edition of Nhyira Digital Passports ya bobo ni nyina no a ye de dwumadi no enso edi ebramo enche na maestro etnase na odiyen akwamane so ho ofiamane ba na afei afifi Manfred wa ha sanso na Joshua Holutu ono so mbetenka abo aye dwumadi yi enso na Jude Owusu Bafo ono so betenase na afei the main man Kalala na betenase na yewuran se mmatimi edi Riches bi don ko be chado ni pamto mamma mi nim komo kakra bi so yeni apomidon komo kakra bi yewi a man so betenase na yede amene nsam no ahedwumadi na se enso etimi edi yeno Kwelu Ghana Limited empenifo na edi eyen komo sima kakra bi yewi ana ye kwamene ne di amene nsam no enso etimi edi ka cho se ade ya so ewi ase ade ba kwa so obo ho mpae pa ya de nti yene Kwelufo eni nkomo na ewi a yenko amene na afi yemfa amene nsam no enso emfa emamodwumadi ne
so meme duro na we baba na kama say prostate enlargement anetitwa wedro hunchun capsule ena bebo ama wo mensem nyina enso etumi akoye hunchu capsule wo prostate ne de wo pese wo dunso twa no urinary tract air system ne mu dawa wonso wo de hunchu capsule eno ati omde araba bazen tablet nso aba medro ebo ba bia menstrual pains menstrual disorders eno nso betu ase na the reason tia etimi tu ase no pay pa na nkasa wa ha obecheche mu edi amaye ana afi bema bia nso a wo premature ejaculation slow erection ana so libido ewa from no gwedro Mr. Kill na eniemo omade asesa Mr. Kill mu ntia etimi di sa adwuma no eno ho nkomo ana na no pe yene hu enso eba bedi na aduro ba ko tachire eno de ya abere bia ye heda enya ndro ba ne de me pese ye di hu enso enkomo ye pa because manfa sase ebisa me ho asem open good morning
ja
na empomiti say
nyame adumo na so
nyame adum ye so ye ho ye pa time with Kwelu Ghana Limited
eja enokre na se ade nemba na etatu to kwan pa onim se Ghana hanyina tembia yekọ obia ho na yakoka de efata se oye so that dachi onye ha bia emfa no ho na sisi a ye kanompo ye die duro bako esa baba enche kura sa eduro no ye freno dabitap diabetes eduro misremu a mo amutie mi enche kura enu so beba mo amu diabetes ana omo ka kire mo se mo diabetes no misremu a enche kulunga na fo mbefa sa aduro no esaba enam kwan so ba enche ba nemum anapa we asama me pese minimu nyina enti na emfa ya apomdi no se bema wo ho a na omo ka kire wo se bema wo prostate enlargement ye ka se ejunso ade ne hyase eyemre misre wa memfa ndiagro nanse ya memfa ndiagro edidi nkrofo pa ukọ hospital ko hu mema omodi catheter show me ka roba no rebo ho enya asem ketwa ni hye no eyeya ni eyeya misre wo bema wo sa haw no amintwan na omodi sa ade ne yede enhyew misre wa akoto hunchun capsules ebeboa wa ankasa uto hunchun capsules a wo infections ebeboa wo prostate symptoms ni nyina ebeboa because wo infections na ema bema ne ye ketekete bema wo infections ewo bema no wan hwe ya wo bema no befon bema no soso fon wa wo benye nsusu aso boni efa wo ankasa ho so misre wa bema bia wo sa symptoms no prostate no yamfa ndi agro eni na ye bebia ya junso no ye den ekofa na ekopie so umma sa de ne ye mrepe bema uti wa endru 10 seconds junso na edio ukwa usaba junso bedio wun ye ntentema wo ba junso agu na bema uti ho tem bia junso kawa bebia wo be kwa junso wun ye ndru ho na wa junso agu ho a ekire sesen misre wa bema di ohuni what's our symptoms na yen ten na kofa honchun capsules no min twan no medi catheter na yeden e hyew catheter na eye ya ne hye no ne yisusu ya na de eye me ya pa se be ma wo yire no mo di sa roba ne hyew e kyerɛw se sa oba na asede e wo mpa no so de wo de wo nka ho na misrɛ wa sebe be ma wo ko ware oba fefefe ebe tu dem a na obi na eye den ebe ya ma because unye sa process no medi catheter ne hye wo be ye den akɔ oba no susu nye dua obeda ho de bia etwen wo ono susu ni nipadua no ewo be bia ebe ye den ebe fa so uye sa mistake na no medi sa de ne kyewa misrɛ wa munua a wo abonten tie mi nkoka se me yiri na afa meche wa na wo man fa ochi because unye sa symptoms ne nyina ana infection to be ma wo be ma na nkasa no mpofon eye ketekete so unye sa problem ne nyina obehu se oba no be ka che se na ne wura adenti na wo de na ehya ase eyesi ehya ase misrawo mimmo oba na mbisa sa asam no misrawo akofa hontun capsules no ebeboa wo
eno na ema o junso twa na enya hodin yi
enu na ema na nya ahonden enu susu wo infection to say gonorrhea ana sa nema bata ye mema na side no enye sa how no a wo be hu ana be ma na sha se efon be ma no so fon a nanse a wo be ti say na asemesi o su say na ade ani we say misra wa wo pese obi anka sa asam no fa ho a unyanye infection pe na enye proceeding po a wo fa ho nchu na eboa enu so ye for infections and it's for prostate because ohone nyina omo ye no omo pese esiesie wu be ma no ojunso ade no ene wa ade na ebetima abodwuma ma wo no so unum sa edro no a eboa sa menu no nyina unye sa haw no nyina ye de emfa ho
okay and then komo ba kwam pese ye di eye o say the x and y ana say
x and y wow say ubeka obi beka say anamedia wo bebere eye de ba obi wo ho a awo no de embakura
enti aduro na nkasa ye den
x and y granules
okay
wow say obi wo ho a sperms no or sperms no kama but any ahonden any obi wo ho a sperms no ba na omu sha say ewu
okay
they are not life sperms so eba sa no a tembia ono oba ne hia oba ne entimi mfafuru no oba ne nya ovulation na sa time no oba ne susu tukosia no oba ne tukosia na odi ne susu akwa na ontimi ye de ofata se oye obi wo ho entimi nsuimi mpo
okay
tama o release sperms na sperms ni nyina ewu dada ehye ho na odi baaye no so eba sa na oba no ho a ontimi mfafu so x and y no unuma wo ba ma no ema ho no sperms no ebe produce sperms no kama na esa bo sperms no hu ban
okay
so tembia wo no oba ne hia obehu se okọ oba no ho dia oba no be fa afuru ba tembia ebe ba na sperms na wo dada so ewu dada wo be ma no be ye den akonyin se obi so obehu a wo ka se low sperm count na sa nema no so wo ko fa sa ye x and y granules na obehu se tembia wo be ma no produce sperms a wo produce healthy sperms.
Okay, so the bottom line is obi a doctor catch or say was sperm count our form and now say was sperms no mwani ni ahoden na do ye S and Y granules. Oh okay,
doctor nya catch or say oh menua say ye check ye say na esi misrao me nko twetwa onan ko fa X and Y granules enya de bia etise ti a enum no unum a heba ebe boa na sa ko boa ho no na ohu se be ma ne benya ahonde na sa produce sperms na healthy ema wo be ma
okay so obi tie sisi opebi atwa hefa no benya bi atwa no ma be no be free
obe free number na your office line ankasa
okay
and 0244 27 5429
5429
yes 0244 27 54 29 fresh number na uba otumfo traffic na yeni health insurance na opposite
okay
but see ya movie kakra by hona bebia Rose Palace one opposite na ewo
enti manhia
okay kwan ya ubefa akọ manhia museum no aburusan kama fefefe ewo ho ye wo esoro ho uba ubehu ye signboard ne eda ho Kulun Ghana Limited uwura ho a na bisa wo ano asem na ekire wo eduru pa ubefa na eboa wo ane pedua no.
Okay, so sisia no wama yako mema ne de for low sperm count and say wombenya the life ye cancer sperm sa ebetimi produce ma oba na timi afa fru. But what if say oba no so e problem
ba oba na de tem bia ye ka che omu oba wo ho edwanedie hwe odwanedie ye enye edwane bia wo oba no a wonya na odi kankan a omo programs omukọ de emfata say udi na ne yanku di a ono so force say obedi.
Okay,
sa na ema problem ye den eba wan kasa ho because oba bi wo ho a ade ye de odini bebre a obehu say tem bia infections ne di obefa no kwa oba bi wo ho a omuti ho a obehu a na ne nsa ne nam no ho enkoyie oba bi wo ho a oni be mati ana oti omuti ho a obehu a na omumpese ne yonku no mpese oti be no because oti pampan bi ye den efri no ho.
Oh, okay.
Misrewa oba a ompese sa asam ne si a minkoye sa anema no oba bi su wo ha okohye ne be ma na tem bia owro no ho wi a na be ma na twetwe no ho misrewa infection na eduku no misrewa hwe ho yie.
Okay,
enti na kunu for di araba bazin tablet ne ba no eno so ehya ase se oba no onye ne menses ne yi a nema ne tasisi oba bi susu wo ho owo gonorrhea ene syphilis tembia ewo no ho wo se oba ka se oh me de se mi ya na nsuo se misrewa me ma nsuo sa nsuo no free wo oba no ho den eba kofa araba bazin tablet oba bi wo ho ka se obebu nsa na ne yase ye ne ya eye ne hiri misrewa kofa araba bazin tablet no oba oti ho no ta complain mi mbenya me menses misisi ene kotoje ye me ya misrewa araba bazin tablet ne be sisi ho no nyina because oba no wu moya kwan sani ya tam na eduru se wu menses ne ba na entimi mba yie bebia esisi kwan no araba be na ne bibia na kwan na abie na o meje na abayie entwetwa nsi na odwini se ene menyima na okoche ka na wonyim ana oti ho na o si o minye infection se araba be siesie sa nema na nyina ma o na oba o pese wo atinka because wo sa how no a wo atinka ne beti akọ u be ma no fa nsafufa o humpo a na u kasa ono susu ya ukunu pese ukunu fa nsafufa o so a na o be kasa fa araba bazin tablet now esiesie o na wa atinka no esa abate say first no because oba bi wo ho o wasa infections no oni atinka be ma na di nsafa no so ana no buofu na be ma na obo ka wo ho a na eduru tama ono so be ya na asade na okasa wo be hu say be ma na be jawo misre wo oba mi mpese o be ma no ka chen say ma mi say no si on ma o de wo ye ne ntira so misre wa siesie ohu yie wo siesie ohu yie a be ma no ba na o de ama no be hu say de o be fa ma ono mpo e be sombo ba be ma no ba na ontimi ye wa asade yi a obehu se na tembia problem wo fie so misre ma no ene me nuam no se wo sa haw no nyina me ntwen na obi ka che se koye se misre wa koto araba bazin tablet na ebe siesie o na wa hu se wo ye oba araba bazin tablet ni side distance I say oba offer e man skin ni look fresh.
Okay, so one araba bazin tablet
na yes araba bazin tablet look fresh and young obi hu a obeka se u da so ye young o look young enye bibia araba bazin tablet na ebe siesie so that be ma no hu mpo a hu be ye na akono but emma hu ye tantan to say this in but araba be siesie tembia ukwa na look like a woman.
Okay, so yendi do pabne na nkasa ho enkomo Mr. Kill baby abefa bia Mr. Kill di ntina Mr. Kill agi din agi
ba Mr. Kill de onim say be ma de wo bre wa bontin a wanti so bi ka se be ma din e brenya na wo bre se ya na okoduru fie a na oba ne da ho a
wanya hwe a
wanti ma ye hwe a wan ho se fie sunta ko beba wo bre abontin ba na fie sunta ko ho na be ma wo koye adwuma pa se wo be fa oyire ene wo ma udi skana ba udi ma oba no so niji say oh me wura de oye no me ni so aden na me susu amma na ninji e wo no mpa no so na oba no ba na akoda ho kojo to entimi mpagya ne ti enwusu ne timpo ube hu asam 10 seconds na be ma ne da ho ehum te say ne hum na ebeti no mesira wa be ma ubra na onim say ubre na ade no susu eyemre a me fansie kope Mr. Q de herbal enye chemical bia obeka se o chemical ebe ha me dachi herbal no mo di ye enye chemical mesira wa kofa Mr. Q no ufa Mr. Q na obehu de wu ankasa be na oba ohun se de okunu ye ne de ensuso ani obetima akoto wi ama enye fere o mi wura metie de wuro we wo radio su ana ewa abonten no mo se dro we de eye pa mema na me pese mi to ma o ana mi surprise o na on sisun ye de enum na ehwe de eye obehu se be ma ne ni baji because obehu se de oye no uni nso ne sa ba o pese oye aboro sa so mi sira wa be ma wo abonten mi koboka go oba ho na uni no koduru dem a na wo da ho hati uhumi te se ohumi na ati ana obi okọ 100 meters na o pese ohumi mi sira wa kope Mr. Q mi mo obi anka che se be ma na uwie ni ana be ma anye no
ya obetimi aye
de obetimi aye ni wa sai mi mpo uya anye no ano no mi sira wa mi ma oba anka che se anye
Maestro the maestro
Riches me Donkor Richardo
bibi aboko de
na me admo na so
emi go su shine bibi I fine
on say football is back.
Yeah, club football is back.
Yeah, club football is back.
And the pass na easy a football ni there. Especially with the club football no. Na enima see there.
Now
so if should be fine there.
It will be fine. Me ba mbe say influencer ba ko o se juma am say juma yi there.
Okay.
Now say Andrew Arsenal etimi ebo 3 goals editia Coventry City. Na mo say ene na mo say calibre nchi na na busu afọ akọtina DSTV na omo hwe na den minim so won sa story na
me say
minim den ties amanfo kan won azemsa
I don't see den omo see picture na den
omo so say baby a obobo adumi at least o say nka se ni ma me
e bia nko fly omo to say dey na party wo asa
could you see
the family no omo oh say after season has started. This is the first game. Probably ebia ye kwa ni na games na da omo ni no betimi abo. So aja. Obetimi in the family. Akona omo kwa binti. I don't think they we everything. It's for Maestro.
Ateta so record bi.
You coming in.
Are you ready?
So to me that will be a rotation, will be answer to my comment. Of course, what the cat Riches me Donkor Richardo. So no 8 me try intro no come and game no be 8 me to Jaberiamu EPL about to La Liga. Italian Serie A matches no Samsung French League A transfers no Carlos Baleba no some no and so 8 me to say Kena Kasa this and many more in the next 15 minutes no yeah they have some more power sponsors yeah shall say and they feel him say enjoy the English Premier League no my Arsenal team 8 match Coventry City 8 match mo e come and sound one more antimi na sa game no and one sempio Mikel Arteta and so 8 match Kasa mesem no yeah they better to be beyond so 8 match come and games sim ebe to so the EPL on the Hull City and Riches with Donkor Manchester United and 11:30 and a side game because early kickoff in so Everton Betnefie non Crystal Palace side game 2 p.m. Ipswich Town and Sunderland and also 2 p.m. Nottingham Forest and Leeds United side game and 2 p.m. 4:30 about 4:30 Brentford and Tottenham Hotspur and so every team their face so nyame adom ochna or English Premier League no Brighton and Hove Albion and Aston Villa game no 1 p.m. Manchester City and Bournemouth and so 1 p.m. Nyambo ochna team Abrante Antoine Semenyo and go pay back to Bournemouth near who say side game no and so ebetimi akọ Newcastle and Liverpool elebo na me adom ochna eno game 3:30 nambo Monday night football Tima je from Fulham any Chelsea and so ebetime de sia kan na be bian so etimi kama Gentos nenko pemo La Liga Santander mu im say matches be eto the enra Robertis any Real Sociedad game no ewie chena Robertis asha bako ama Real Sociedad entimi anteka ene Athletic Club de Bilbao any Sevilla and so ebetime e de abo Sansona Valencia any Celta de Vigo and so ebetime de sia kan and then 7:30 Espanyol and Real Madrid fans said Jose Mourinho in the first game and so ebetime call Edamano Gentos number ochna Atletico de Madrid and Villarreal game no 3 p.m. Getafe and Racing Santander 5:30 and Barcelona and Elche Barcelona beto Elche mufie game 7:30 na me ademo chantimun so na ebia ko number Monday Osasuna and Levante bebo Malaga and so Deportivo La Corona almost ebetim da bo na ebia and so etime kama Italian Serie A and the games no estate Inter and Monza game near 4:30 Udinese and Como game 4:30 Sansona Genoa and Napoli bebo game 6:45 Parma and Cagliari Calcio sa game no 6:45 na me adom ochina Frosinone and Juventus so betim de second game near 4:30 Venezia and Lecce game bebo 4:30 Atlanta and Sassuolo game 6:45 and AC Milan and so any Torino sa game 6:45 number Monday Bologna and Lazio be second 4:30 and AS Roma Sansona Fiorentina and so betim de second sa game 6:45 and be bounce at my kama Jeko La Ligue Anim Angers and Los Lille ebebo and this game 1 o'clock Sansona Le Havre and Monaco so betim de second sa game 3:15 Rennes and PSG and number channel game 6:45 and then matches no less and Ozil and so betim de second game 3:15 Le Mans and Brest and so betim de second game 6:45 OGC Nice and Lorient bebo 6:45 Toulouse and Lyon so betim de second sa game 6:45 and Troyes and so and Paris FC and so betim de second game 6:45 and Marseille and so betim de Strasbourg echamo ekan and 9 womo anti no so medical catch say Andra English Premier League no na nya fediagro team my friend Arsenal and so Coventry City and so you echeno na Arsenal echa Coventry ekan miensa womo anti bi na no na ebusa opanya ye friend Mikel Arteta say o say and the boys no performance na say and obesiaka was very impressed with and Osha results now Andre Timi to the man now very impressed on say Bukayo Saka Martin Odegaard and Calvert Ebogo was yenka Emobi Biantomo etimi a prepare ye na mom anson be share game no say Coventry City and the team ketwa omo enough time omo na emebe bra omo timi prepare kwala cho omo Arsenal etisa game no na emu betima den na ebe tricky of course no first match biano and so etime tricky at the moment na mom obebon and man number so on performance based no omutimu boy chuma e and obebian so etime kama and some opinion your friend Mikel Arteta and so etime the tuja or to say afina after 22 years Arsenal and so etime league the boys no ever relax on the pitch and or say there be hey on pay be friend relax or person musa bobo no stay focused now fluid football no etime flow possessive game no red no pia the man yonko na Odegaard the J no a share Bukayo Saka I want 10 no so team the man into so no Mikel Arteta no person in mente ebe nante so o match league team de beba into more pitches so more nante no Mikel Arteta no also sign the man so name do also say on benya strong team connection na bibia come on be focus on be determined no more possessive football ebe team so the results and so team abramo onim say aka some 10 days not just of transferring do no and so etima closely na ina busa Mikel Arteta say na on say every concert and so etima ba na o say Arsenal ni mo na on benya another forward na o say there be on there boys no more esi ano ono wadwuma na o ye so be it may improve o mo na be bia and so etima kama Now on Ezri Konsano or say a fantastic player. Obebom in defensive shape no and say Arsenal in terms of squad depth no omunya baby betting that account because Ocean Man City or Chelsea signing somewhere now on me cat that somewhere they still na esa I'm say hey no wait mo signing so na still na esa it some opinion your friend Mikel Arteta and so it may be two now my main control say opinion friend Mikel Arteta after 150 games no opinion etime record bi ma men fan tuja en fa ma say o ka empanifo bi say Alex Ferguson mo Pep Guardiola mo mo etime about 200 plus games after 150 matches no na say Mikel Arteta ono na down screen so all channel ko pemo in short TV on YouTube obetime na sa video na say picture na make no na Mikel Arteta the fastest manager so metime 150 Premier League matches Mikel Arteta for 10 years, c'est on the number one. We're winning 249 matches. Sounds not say Alex Ferguson 247. George Klopp 237. Jose Mourinho 231. And all the Chelsea and Man and a Pep Guardiola 200. And Mikel Arteta the modern extra year papa and some kakra and also it may Arteta and Arsenal Sensemo and so it made a bro Jean Copin send them a catch on say boy 11:30 team friend Hull City sounds and a Manchester United and a bet me second sad game no Richard on room Nina so I say Michael Carrick Mantano after so team dey adwuma man no obetima ya adwuma na be bian so etima kama na ebusa Michael Carrick say on league no metima jana on there on team nkaso mun team je on very well prepared o share say the last season and they must be 10 times more on team qualify about be more Champions League ni ma on Michael Carrick or you should the red I can't yentimi so no ko chanto on very ready on ebetima league no and be bia enso etima ye now him say brought to this season no man I sign be Union Telemans about say am no ka say Carlos Baleba deal no almost done nebusan say open defensive midfielder no to me Boman or so the chord mama Abrante Feno Carlo Henrique Casemiro nebusa Mikel Arteta say Michael Carrick yebusa say on Casemiro absence no dey bet me won say where man you swim players back no mako players back no mako nemo it is up to the manager no any players I want to say obetimi adapt to the new system no it not changing ama players no more no obi say kobi menu and so it not fitting now obetimi adwuma kama and so it me on Casemiro in there omo answer than Infinity because omo top players are almost good qualities obetimi boa Bruno Fernandes mo and so it me obetimi adwuma no and so Casemiro sense no or so almost Infinity because Obama a big club players etmeba and a players also etmiko mini baby ane ye analyst on mefa na Michael Carrick asem bi emi de pam je busan on midfield say on say na born e bono amount for some midfielders in a winning game and busan Michael Carrick say what could any midfielder what born bi da no also uditum say midfielders a key in winning games and or say debatable and that's ubetima argue on that ubetima di watch nye nemo ope team one position back a amount for any June and I say I want to so be na the midfield no eno any team na koma enti some midfield anywhere born obono ebeto sin kakra or say no disrespect to the defense shape any attack omu na ka on a team game no mum so ba in FIFA there say Bruno Fernandes mo Kobe Menu mo Julien Telemans mo Jan FIFA dan mo twist no 10 no mo bosu ani adade without the ball any with the ball in nano untimi ka braba midfielders and so etimi the film eti openya ye friend Michael Carrick and so be biana no pe power sport say open play roll back kwa e wunya our football pa untimi ka bra uberi midfielders and so etimi film ye busan on Marcus Rashford or say Abrante very ready or high in spirit our betimi so be say akaim on Abrante ye friend no dan Benjamin Sesko or say or doubtful kakra no mom be bia Messi Mount so and also doubtful for and the another 11:30 game Hull City and so Manchester United and so betimi dey say akaim International some kakra opinion fellow Michael Carrick and tuja Jean Copin opinion fellow Jose Mourinho and so Emra Mourinho say yanka emobi bia so ente say ono non compresso say Benfica nemo ebra opinion fellow Florentino Press ɛfa phone na ɛfrɛ na ɔte clean ɔkɔhwɛ phone phone press say phone press mo me patro brabe adwuma because ye team no je bra ye ntimi engine kuwa ɛwa na mo say oh there be say Madrid fell there owo no abeka so betina na on say Madrid ebetima kɔ trophless or say there be at Madrid here untimi mbo season we na aka so obekɔ trophless entenene nsem kakra opanya ye fɛ mo that to ye ne ebe say sani game no enso ebetima kɔ na yanko pemo Roy Kane retire temi Roy Kane say yemfa to just say ope player baako a ne modern boy so ani a afi obetuma the best player of the season so a enye player bia to say Bruno Fernandes the Portuguese international was a Branteno she assist on my last season 21 assists on record na ABC wa breaking at a certain new record Branteno optimistic goals incisive passes you can incisive passes I say Messi mutama sa pass bi no otimi bobos na tone o ma pass na fan kofo fifi obot na Benjamin Sesko mo Brian Bremo mo efa bono no mo etime de adwuma enti Roy Kane say yem fan to ya say ono Roy Kane there so in the best player there or obetchase Branteno Bruno Fernandes ebeji Busa say the West midfield in the top 6 teams Tottenham any team friend Chelsea Man City Man U Arsenal and Liverpool no midfielders Berna on somewhere West where can say Man City was on midfield ne no Man City Gadula kwa for Enzo Maresca ba oni mo so nya de what soldier will play be say what you saw onko what soldier Bernardo Silva say and also 8 men going to where can say Jan fan to just on there so open West midfield to and also open West midfield our top 6 teams or more EPL ma team my friend Manchester City and some kakra Jensa Enzo 8 maker and chebia the best one na mami adwuma e ma on man teven Carlos Baleba do no and time so obesai 5 years na so body a na say Manchester United mun fifi e obe die pop because o Bruno Fernandes o Carlos Baleba kobi manu mun na so dia o mun na bono mo to pass dem Brian Bo and say Richard Besre and Michael Carrick say on Beji League no and so ebetimi ampa and some kaka Mensa enso etmeka Jenko Premo opanya ye Lionel Andre Messi on enso etma so and ebetimi me last story na be bia enso etma kama Lionel Messi no me pacho tenie na Wednesday and I'm in Philadelphia Union ebo match na match ni no stoppage time and Messi any Abrantia your friend Cavan Sullivan sa Cavan Sullivan we odi 16 years na me adman next year be 18 and in the subsequent series no all is like Manchester City Man City for Abrantia no na Messi ekoyi ni nsa e de bo Abrantia na sum picture no e da Insha TV on YouTube okoyi ni sade bo Abranten asum enti e hwe na ese dabi after pinche and a referee ni red card and e try Abranten Cavan Sullivan oni Messi enya asem no ana e ma Abranten no 1 month suspension enti match review panel no amko hwe game must dabi we the Abranten on different onu mpo ya ono kwe Messi na ko head no a osanso ni se bo na asum enti sadia MLS enso etimi a suspend and say omotimi e the fine e the ma Messi fine no sika esen a ama fan tuja enti the things Lionel Messi has been fined
me bawo Lionel Messi na yebo game and Abrante fan say Sullivan odini tia pimnitim and according to the MLS no say a dia wa ye niamo ho sam enti o se atwe na so of course said the name no against the sporting integrity enti omuhwehwe mu no and omuso ya se fine no fine na o man kesika krom dia fine o man kesika krom dia fine na Messi minim so I stand into o say dey omu ni boss no they can't and no the Messi no po he's the face of the MLS
of course
what I say auntie I just want no circle can kaka na chine be okaso kwa na akwa affect league nti books no dey betimi atro ya fine ba bu kum na so
e bia na fine now we tell the second time Messi Okopemo MLS league where is Adim
normal or star player
first one was in February 2025 oko heade and say oni openya ye feno Medi Balochi ono assistant coach at the New York City
okay
oni konya issue am I finding Messi enti minim Messi papa won na mai so I confused I was asa ko ebiemo I don't know
Oya start. Ti mo fan channel.
Yeah, oya start. Young Goreska. Aston Villa for beso mo sign.
Oh, okay.
On say or free agent.
Free Bayern.
Or free Bayern since June 30th June no free Bayern Munich. Enti no Abrante no Aston Villa for Enzo Pesce mo sign. Enti you channel. On say Emmanuel Maestro. The best say yeah, the for ya have to so.
Ade wo Maestro and the dey e come ne na mo ne nsem pi e na ode aman but also as ni na de me de pa aye rocking de no.
Rocking de.
Rocking na chess won football mu pa.
Oh there.
So say. Premier League na ye babo no. Ono ogidi say 2026-2027 de no. Bruno and ebe emerge as the best player.
Sure.
Because in terms of assist last season or 21
assists.
And we had Manchester United. See assist midfield de bikuta ball. On fa pass ngura defense. On split defense. Bruno be anyhow. It's one of the reasons here. Make catch we as in as Premier League no.
Oh, some I carry kasa on league no.
Rokin and chess on football mu pa.
Richard I
mean sure okay.
I think I shall see. I know about first game.
Why Hull City
since 1974
sa history the historical antecedent near the nyeduma side.
Now Michael Carrick
this season you better shut him bia.
Richard
we are beating team bia obebe.
But must Arsenal
team we. Now Coventry as team we. Coventry.
Now Michael Carrick is someone in the yard. On me for the someone there.
Good morning.
Morning, Rich.
Joshua Holutu. And I was you as a meka I rocking as a master was there.
Oh, there we na say me
what can some power?
Oh, me tem chuku me dey say mo dey mo kana meetie.
Okay. But on any adwen.
Oh,
I say Premier League na enra ye shase no. On o few say yembo game ni na enwie no. And emo league ni no. Na Abrante fans Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United. I emerge as the best player. Because last season Nyama Abrante year no.
Yeah.
On say ye ndimi anji league ni na ma o company for say ye man the best player na den. But this season no. Narrative the best we are winning the league and obeji best player.
No, you see, Rich, Roy Keane Castle Semna, I will never doubt it. Bruno Fernandes, so utie Abrante ye pan off the pitch. You realize that one of the most strong-willed players are. We be see a kind in the Premier League. He's one of them. You can say player be what intention say or say or do maximum level. Bruno Fernandes is one of them.
Okay.
In this King Casasem now, I'm not surprised because when you look at the player's profile and look at the commitment and the determination of person the born. Me person maybe a contract because he cannot be some farm. Also, he has something about £400,000 a week. Most say more man only £500,000 addition to the OGCC per year. I'm sure that's a very good deal. There be media may say it's a more value player now.
Now the one is
your value.
Your value doesn't care about contract extension.
Na say on yan sign.
And Obia Onim United team Nibian say Bruno Fernandes is a key member.
It's a man contract no sign. You first can come man.
If you asem. You know better as in Yakasada. Josh.
Yeah,
so we be find there.
Yeah, nyame adom bia boko.
The not 50 minutes minimum baby so there Fabiana.
Look, Rich, the Premier League is off on a different level. And now I'm sure Arsenal team no more with the kind of performance that they put up. Arsenal want to reinforce their dominance and make sure that they send the signal to Bia in the Premier League. Say whatever they did last season, no, on better in year and better this time around. Rich, Arsenal game now money Man City boy committee shield no about a week ago. No. The standout moment in that game was what happened in the first 30 seconds of the game. Say a starting ball now within 24 seconds. Now Arsenal 4, Eddie ball now 2, Man City for nothing. And if you watch the sequence of play, the way not determination and who Arsenal for now for me and how they managed to push the ball quickly and put it in the back of the net, told me something that no, Arsenal for no want to send a message that So Usher Arsenal last season this season they are coming on a different level. And now we as we concert Echira man say or a new player was signed. And I'm very happy say no we didn't even see both of them, Bruno G and Ezri Konsa, in the game. But you saw the way Arsenal dominated the match. The intensity from level 0 to minute 90th. You saw how they played the game with a different mentality. It was not the same mentality that they played last season with. Because last season, to me say, maybe they were giving the league away. So if you have come off that posture, and when your new season, Pep Guardiola ending, for the very first time in the Premier League, all the top 5 teams have new managers in the dugout. Mikel Arteta would want to establish that dominance in the Premier League. And Rich, and then if Arsenal want to win the league this season, it's na players miensa peso. Players miensa. And I mean, who said they are going to be very key to this Arsenal team if they really want to establish that dominance in the Premier League.
Players bang.
Number 1, Ricardo Calafiori, left back. Rachel Nhyira.
And I down the pass.
Look, that guy has a different way he sees the game. And yeah, me pe one who say once he came into that Arsenal setup, ultimately Mikel Arteta and philosophy in temper. Inti enano say Arsenal for no build it from the back. The ball no come in pe. Ricardo Calafiori steps out of the defense into the midfield.
And now can't have it first goal no.
Yeah.
Nan who boom.
Look, the ingenuity, the skill, the willpower of Abrantiano. Once he contributes into the attack, you even get him moving into the central areas of the attack to even receive the ball from Abrantiano from Christos Solis or bit me Pejano from the flanks into the box. It's a Calafiori, or not just one type of left backer, baby or left horn. So you get that dynamism from him. Number 2, Miles Lewis Kelly.
That young boy.
Rich, I'm not surprised. Say Arteta about Bontin because this player is not for sale. And he wants to also repose that confidence in player to tell the player, say, look, you are not for sale, that's accepted, but you will be a key member of my team this season. Because I value you and I know what you can do. And I think Sabrantino, when you are Arteta team, what maybe I say. So this time around, I can get the chance to enter into the team and make myself known. Every game, oh boy. I can tell you for a fact, once we get Bruno G back from injury, not Declan Rice available, Miles Lewis Kelly will be that player who can step into the game from start of the game. He will dictate the tempo. He will be combative on him players. No ever to get the best for team my friend Arsenal. Race number 3, Martin Odegaard. On him said the whole of last season, Martin Odegaard was share 1 goal per. That is the thing. But then now, you saw how influential he was in the game. Chance creation na de Onyambo na he is scanning or share one bit me man the pass no. If Arsenal can keep Martin Odegaard fit, including players Nyenu Amaka Akahon, Rich, Arsenal will become a very dominant force in this particular Premier League. Brian Fa Bruno Gianni as a concept pu MM. And one thing I've seen Arteta do is that a person will build a team this time around, not from necessarily say Abia or share goals from a set pieces. A strategy no, he will continue to do it. But Rich, one thing Arteta is doing in this season is that he wants to utilize players who can play interpositions, very flexible, who can read the game differently. It is reconstructed Jumedia now Odi or Aston Villa. He can play as a center back. He can also play as a right back. And then Sejurian team free injury Ebampona. You have an Ezri Konsa who can give you squad depth. Ubebo Champions League, Ubebo League Cup, Ubebo FA Cup. So if you have these players available, Rich, you don't have just squad depth, but you have dynamic players who say will be Prampona. You can get them to play in different roles on the pitch. Bruno G, obetimi about 6, obetimi about 8. He can also play in a 3-man midfield. So he's not looking per se, say, hey, I have only one type of player for one specific purpose. I have 2 or 3 players, but 3 players no. Obetimi about 6 different positions on the pitch. And I share Christos Solis. Nipa na Okoye scouting for Arsenal. Ekofa Christos Solis from Club Brugge. I didn't share team no. Look, Mihu Nipa na I'll salute the person more than 10 times. It is not easy to be a player to come outside the league, to come and enter into the Arsenal setup. And then now he looks like he has been playing Arsenal for about 3 seasons now.
And he said Martinelli
and you see, that is where I would also be very proactive. Namini Abrante Natanasi. Rich, another thing I've seen Ateta do is that say in football generally, no, say player and first 11 who on him say ABA or a surplus to requirements. If you bench bar and yen a
especially to us Brazilian
good. Now say oh you good or who say on him no bo. Now they be out in the free bench bar. You may not get the best out of the player for a long time. But one thing Ateta needs to make the players understand this time around, and he say Omu very close to winning the Champions League. And so bet me the Champions League this season there. He needs to make the players understand that if you are not on the pitch in the first 11 and not on Chelsea on come plans home and not on Chelsea on your good player and not Mikel Merino any Eberechi Eze, they came from the bench. But once they came from the bench, Rich, you saw that no, but they sustained the team.
Martinelli was in Nipa. We were team last season. Trossard na neighbor.
Yeah.
He said Trossard is no more. It is a Trossard in your namina. Anytime be a Trossard and Mohamed Boa.
Yeah.
Obviously, so Oniwa. Me share him say me some starting game now.
Okay.
Then Yakofa player for Naba. Player Nebaya.
Almost right into the first
ahead of me.
Yeah.
I think no problem no one.
Well, that
it's either Sabranto and the Casana of you say, I'm happy, let him go. Because Martinelli is a Brazilian.
Yeah.
Brazil, so national team is all to bench.
Yeah.
What I say, and like I told you, Nipa first, Debiam if you bench never. Nipa na no man if you bench bano. He's no more. Only team nimbi. And think this season the anya shekrano. When my mom starting up right if you bench him. Oh no, Baya. Still no, start ahead of me.
You see,
you complain.
Sometimes it also depends on the profile of Mrantiano. Look at Martinelli. Martinelli is not that type of player or you're very good with take-ons. Say Branamenchon, Minyabo na met me box move very easily. Or your player na young Bontu type of. And in games, no, there are certain games in this season Rachel because Arsenal for no, they were required to use those kind of strategies. In the meeting come last time, they say, I really wish say Arsenal for no, say see no mukas or musheshe last signing na oye very attacking player. No mutimi konya Osimhen na ebe bo amopa.
Okay.
Because Victor Gyökeres himself on yet that very combative. Unya Victor Osimhen in a game where you are trying to sit in a low block to prevent him say obesha no. Unya bo na ubosima. You get Osimhen to do a lot of that battling and heckling with defenders. Obetimi Rabox no, he will cut in or the na holding obe brebo nasi and he will put it at goal. Martinelli is not that combative. And in this season, one thing that will help us now, and they say, you don't just be creative. You need to be combative. You need to be very flexible. Martinelli is that kind of player. Inti, I get you. So, person of you there, I don't have a problem. But so Betias here, and we said the season that we are in, our target is the Champions League. Aside the dominance in the Premier League, yeah, I think Arsenal will become a very, strong force to reckon with. Rich, there's a team I didn't put in my top 4. Me am a top 4 no. My first team nanshim.
But what's the sound Adriana?
And yes, I'm a Madrid.
Okay.
I think that team may come fifth place.
Fifth?
Yes.
Team
may come once. Tottenham Hotspur.
Because of signings, Nana.
And yes, signings, no.
And our coach.
Partly, I think it's the coach. And we are there's a certain level of understanding Deserbi has about the game.
Brutal.
It's not about the brutality of the manager.
Okay.
It's about the vision of the manager. Deserbi is on record to have said, when he's playing football with his team, he doesn't like to be very reactive. Or person or two no share the team no edeba.
Now you don't know.
Then he will look at how he can attack the weakness of that team.
Okay.
Now, Rich, you've heard the saying, say go and sin no more. So what be that? Mekai Sunday school. Then times ukona ukoya de boni bina ye chuni go 2 times I say go and sin no more. Rich, the Premier League told Tottenham Hotspur last season say go and sin no more. Because a card there, they were going on relegation. West Stadium £1 billion. Now the stadium no Ecobo Championship. After surviving that relegation, Dia obeye bia obe enforce with reinforce with him, you will do it. It's wakofa deserve by and nyamye nim no kre. Ko wanya lucky no ko relegation na. I don't think this will be the story. Come in Tisika 100 million and Kofa no Tonali from Newcastle. Do not take 85 million and go to West Ham so Mokofa Matthias Fernandes. Uncle Tisika 85 million and Koto Savinho from City. On Tisika 60 million and Koka and Opelma Mamush. Do you know what he's creating in the team? He wants a competitive edge to raise the level of the club. And I think that this season, no, one of the things that Tottenham Hotspur will use as a competitive advantage, and they say they have a manager who is able to separate the useless things from the useful things. In Tieneno, also Jet Spence, person bebo amami then go or Inter Milan. Kuti remember not oye captain in and then
yeah.
So he's pulling, he's buying, and I think that he'll be one of the very competitive managers on the Premier League this season.
Joshua Holutu and a for Martin and Canin Shawanzo for 25 way the weekend edition. And now 18 Konyama day. Say club football I started. And to bet me the message now Bania Kinkai at me at the amount Kelly Scott. I said good morning, Richardo. I think the season is going to be long for we the City fans. So you will be a catch up. Monton play na mama Pep Guardiola nko.
Mama tomu players ni na me nim the vision na fine. Ebia Enzo Maresca has something. But the only team in Canada is not the best.
Vama Sadiq as Richardo, Manchester United we are winning the league hands down. Bema and this message at the Abraham. All right, you to say na Kingsman Kalala. Good morning.
Good morning.
What to say?
Nyamiadum bibi aboko na say.
Nyamiadum.
Ebe nyamiase.
United just here for
fatamenso.
Fatao papa. And some tune ba United.
Unim say before say me ba no. Na omo ka share say oh Kingsman no kwa Richard ni fee to kwa. Na say dey be kra me enjoy papa. Yes. Now was say me choose size.
Okay.
But unfortunately, me go soft sports pa de ma Alonso. Me won say when we na juma Madrid na man ko ye.
Nti soft heart.
Edema Alonso
no Chelsea for no
coaching. Nti before the start of the season, na my dream na say oh me yenko ta Alonso e Chelsea.
Indirectly na say oh ya e Chelsea kakra.
But for the mere.
Around him ni benya problem. Season we be papa. I see me too.
My entire here for now.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Richard always say in the history of European football clubs that has built a dynasty are dominating your success. There is one thing that is very significant and attached to them. And Tibere Jose Mourinho team crowd the Babeji 2004 Chelsea. Obengu Terry and Carvalho say or more the heart of the defense. Over 2007-8, the famous Manchester United team having Vedage, Ferdinand, Mone, Evra. Even Real Madrid 2014, you see Varane, Ramos, Marcelo, and Carvalho. So it means in football, if you want to build a dynasty, one thing that is very important is the consistency of your backline. Jose Mourinho proud to game and Obebo as a starter for Real Madrid, a grantee interview. And in your headline, baby, because for almost a decade after Sophie Spain, now you hear that controversial talks from Jose Mourinho. Now, in summer, how can I try and say? Only in first 11, no compare first 11 for Real Madrid. Yes, Udu baby, I'll bet I see because a team they already have the squad or the experience about the count. So in normal football terms and football science, our team competition is very important. So we need to experiment. It's accepted. But on the other score, the reality of the matter, no crepani you say. For football, the center back pair for nothing at all. One position now, football science and psychology, but culture say it needs that interrelationship, that communication. Hey, the center back. Oh, I did now. The fullback. I.e., one of the major problems are Alonso now Real Madrid. A time or by injuries are now disrupting the defenders of Real Madrid into a lot of experiments, inconsistency.
Militao.
Thank you. Injuries. Nti Alabani Rudy Gabo enfa. Tin Hoisini Webebo enfa. When you are consistent back there. Nti Paris Saint-Germain team nether on. If all things being equal, we get them patch on the Macron was bebo. So Ramos your faith, never run your foot. They will play the consistency, the communication, that blind trust. Nti center back Bakunim say Ojina only way nebo. That relationship is there.
So Jose Mourinho, we understand, say you've had experience with the already centre backs at Real Madrid. But one thing that affected Real Madrid team, the inconsistency, that experimental Madrid for the centre back. Centre back role into say forward now. Individually, Vinicius Bejebo Atrias, Lami Yama Bejebo Atrias. They need that organization, that chemistry, that telepathy. And to Jose Mourinho, we need competition, yes, but for the good day in the big games, and also a solid centre backs that says how two way will complement each other. This is being the brew, where you the brain, where you the cover for Real Madrid. When him say, it is evident, say one thing that hinder the development of Dean Huijsen, the inconsistency of BCI. Because nobody can doubt say Dean Huijsen is a talent, a proper talent. But time about Real Madrid, no. According to football, I can play a develop your consistency. Or buy only way bonnet with Siade. By the time or buy Militao Pra and only David Alaba 2 left-footed players and only Rudy Gabo and there are games that are very evident. So Jose Mourinho, he has to my experiment from the midfield, bring the balance and the creativity. But history and say teams that build dynasty, they are having a solid and a concrete backer. Richardo, tell me your so. And Mourinho has no kind of yes, any players there, but these are some of the things that Real Madrid faithfuls want to see in the team. A lot of issues against Atletico by mistake. But when he had Emerick Laporte in the World Cup, Adile Fonte Momotia say, World Cup away. They won't even concede 3 goals. Solid Obeje, youngest player. So for the back four, for the centre back, they need what we call the blind trust and that interrelational communication. And I think Mourinho should factor these things now ember Real Madrid team. And not just say Mourinho about against Espanyol. There are some things Real Madrid be expecting from Jose Mourinho. At the proper time, I want Real Madrid Jumano to keep that troughless season 2 years. Real Madrid Dako. Yes, and him say he had a timer or yeah, and a sign in say a very fine preseason on but how he can transform that performance from the preseason to the game is a different conversation altogether. And now Madrid probably see the injury list, but our squad in with the exception of Chouameni and your list are because Enrique Monfala Mendy Money ade and ya de no Real Madrid bibli. Bibi awobeji ejumano. The ground is very slippery. And Mourinho no impression I timi ababeton so. You how obesi a shape team no. In the game no, we are not even interested in the results because definitely you say Mourinho and Real Madrid will grant the results. But one, you hear how Jose Mourinho for time long. Obakache and say we should not expect that same Mourinho, a different Mourinho naba. Is he going with that tactical brains or the defense never team him identity in the cry then? One of the major problems at Real Madrid last season was the tactical indiscipline about team him. Mourinho beat him after this hard from the start of the game. The balance is being our midfield because talking about personals, Madrid in Yebi the World Cup players on my field or the balance and the creativity or the midfield. These are some of the things we are expecting from Jose Mourinho. On all things being equal, I expect Mourinho to win this game for Club and Real Madrid. Elsewhere, FC Barcelona Sobebo game. Now you see, I think the perfect moment for Barca to start the La Liga now. Last week in another year, on paper, Ricardo, in terms of organization, structural issue, na Barca for ready because this is a team who coach appointed 3 key departments on here players to fit from the centre back, the midfield, and the attack. Our candidates are not but going before say first season, yes, did what the good news for Barca for the cry say Barca part time for players about now registration issue. They say player is eligible to play for them. A grounds that we know them say in terms of low block in the La Liga, this is a team that they omunim here. Barca game you say Barca for me granted results. But one of the things unless you person Sunday you free Barca team the avoid that because this is an FC Barcelona team going into the season. Robert Lewandowski and Ferran Torres goals and they avoid. So when you coherence flex is he playing that force now I know the new candidate be shame. Lami Yama wo ho, Rafinha wo ho, Godin Muni Adeyemi wo. How the new guys can even blend with the old guys? The automatisms. Niema last season Barca hu ye hu. That must win mentality, that consistency Barca nyaye. Otimibo games na lose ma. And then you go hard in free FC Barca team now. All things being equal, Barca so bo elche. And yet the money be brave. So the Madrid and the Barca game, some of the things personally me person me hu. How the coaches will have a handprint on the team. Mourinho the pressure like a crowd because the Jumana will be for time I will be fan. Ricardo, you can't want some that. And FC Barca, I tear per se when you say, any more avoid number two. How coach the bit
Daniel Moon.
Yes, Daniel Mo bit me, but I don't know. Say Daniel Mo said World Cup rule na the man or Bob Boni. So me names a has a flick bit me you see no because maybe no Rodri started. So in the perfect fit about a team Nikon, maybe Pedri, Rodri, Daniel Mo Juno win him. Then I widen la me man Rafinha with the flanks. Nan can you be anymore. But I have trust in Godin because Kakai who need training grounds and in the Barca players no that connection, that organization with training grounds. I'm expecting a lot from them. Elsewhere with England. Manchester United ebo early kickoff. Now, Richard, the reason why and no na me di United and come on di ye pa ba ko say Manchester United and a good start. No two ways about that. Manchester United team Richard obo we be okobo East pitch. Abebo Everton. A perfect time for Manchester United to do something here now. On the other side of the competition, I always love when coaches play that mind games with the media. Because now yet the second week I say man phone down play two teams no mabano because Manchester near good start on person the pressure be call team so because you know yema atifu who say baby a Manchester nam no if omo ye niam ya no mo de ba Premier League so they can do something
last season yeah good start crowd.
Thank you. And so now me say Amorim start here can carry here maybe omo team league no but Ricardo it is evident say committee match challenge for the Premier League because by a point of accumulate here is very clear. So baby a Manchester United they fan obo we kobo and Arsenal chair no say oh you big team of Premier League nim now you omo bana give them a proper baptism but almost ye. So Manchester United they go away there. It's a very open game I expected. Yes, World Cup squad dey biaba injuries kakra wom but no me catch will say this is a Manchester United team at the core of the team Bruno Fernandes he team the trans. It's a game I see Manchester United to have an early goal. Bruno Fernandes will announce his presence. If all things being equal, maybe assist back could be Bruno the Betuma Momo. If any time score and we should not be surprised, baby. But as I'm not making it's a proper time for Manchester United. So 2 games no mabo. Omunya respectable scoreline film. Any a good scoreline from the Everton game. A City for Ninja because you name the City team ever. For Mariska class or didn't automatism back team no so yeah another issue. So I see Manchester United grabbing a very good result today to better their start in the Premier League. Andrew Arsenal ebo game. Now, I think Sana Ghana for yes, Yebenya few kakadi ama Coventry because of 2 players or no more. Now, Memo bia na de obia Arsenal team win. Omo ye scary 10 year last season. Then 2, in terms of squad depth.
Arsenal squad depth too.
And Richard do any no kon. Arsenal team no. Oh, weakness. Only say the day Paris Saint-Germain play with Aston Villa, na make a check for say. Paris Saint-Germain need team that. Oh, who be a weakness though. Senka oh bo against Abeka say had be Arsenal team no was clear evidence. Oh, who be a weakness that.
Mikel Arteta wa chese on the pep na edwuma.
We see there papa.
The taste for success.
We see there.
Super.
And you see the last time na make can say you will need for success theory. When organization or individual tastes success, no moon said this is the pedestal Mabedua. They always want to keep on winning. So he's an Arsenal teamer. Obi places second with the Premier League. Wabeji Bako. He was in the finals of the Champions League. So Obeko books no said there be a day no muye. Yes, we should build a team. We should be very consistent at the top. So stage now Arsenal, you know, and the need for success theory. They will keep building, fighting for the success, and it's a perfect time. And Pep Guardiola be quite not a lot of new coaches now before the traditional clubs. So with the little Arsenal by Homoko. I think Matia said the reason why I don't Arsenal Pep Vinicius Jr. can be dangerous. As the team net down, only serious I want to be Moby. Because almost all the departments are playing. So ask the team that only God knows when they will stop scoring. It's very scary than even team name. It's early days yet, yes. But no more city. And no idea no more how they even manufacture their goods. And another Joe I was very enthused yesterday watching them. And trust you me, it's a team that the Premier League teams will need to sit down and work against them.
I know I have rented a Kingsman, Kalala. And I'm Martin in Canning Show 4.5 weekend edition. For message no bra na yankin kan emfa Emma Adams me hu message wa me from rem na Fifi Manfred and so emfa yengrem ewo matches etodwa ewo amana say after 5 matches you people will come and enjoy your top 4 again. They say your top 4 na me pandit na ye no. I say after saying 5 matches will be ababa and then ebia obesan sesa na adwen the reason is say I see nobody added Chelsea and midfield experience Enzo Caicedo Romeo Lavia we ni midfield na we
yenka say hu ba ebetimi ya bibi
team entimi am conference we team conference go entimi am bi conference
it which is Chelsea and compete this season
am de kwai dada no a mami binsa dada no a taste ne exercise dada no a why enti chama nya bo trinity tia break na to for obi anu obesesa no saa na de ne ko because go for the team no ncheda enkoye saa. All right, also the new guy is good. At least is introducing a new firm, automatism in football. Richard, my greetings. This is James Jodak Fashion. Okay. Oh, Jodak. Good morning. Bibia Bokodie. I hope say enkai. Bibia, fine. Also, Richard, I love your shirt. I way from UK. And now Obi Breme, Manchester. And Kofi Odiano, good morning. Kofi. Now what to say? Mentu nko waso wa yi no. So now yesterday I was disappointed at Lampard not allowing Caleb to close with the centre back, but Caleb was just running and the first game Premier League in the Sana and the Bonnet. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now to say now Odi no has a few said and leave him team na dey.
Na obi o hwe me bia nim se me pages.
Enye no kre.
Na da na
team ni ya anka be hye.
Na say your jerseys.
Team no enkwenti wa.
There your
o hwe team na dance.
What you about your hwe me touch man me there jerseys are. Go for you don't have to wear team jersey.
Okay.
But touch but me pay jersey shit. Unless
man now odi ayi ba what kind of no. I've forgotten the name. I said Mr. Husu or so. Free UK banner. Customize Manchester shirt.
Yes. Now nipa no do message banner. Say na Lampard Emma calibrate to maker.
No, I say there's a command band defense no.
Oh no. They have somebody that does that job or Coventry.
Okay.
Caleb was in a box to box role and run.
I say now say Oma run
his role was supposed to be in a box to box.
Okay.
Yeah, progressive ball now. He helps in terms of the second phase of ball progression. Then he called the attacking phase and he crashes the box. Until there were times when ball crosses me, then he attacked it at the far post. He could have gotten a goal, and that's what they want to get from him. He said, "Watch a caliber here. What he brings to the team is that ability to give you goals and also defend at the other end of the pitch, and that's what Frank James Lampard wants to capitalize on him. Which on Saturdays we just have to do the straightforward." Because Omomuti are listening to and that's what we want to give them. And these days, apart from entertainment, it's also about people making money from the games that they're watching. So we'll do that for them. Which Mikel Arteta has realized something very significant to English Premier League. And I think in the conversation of the Premier League from now and then also for the future of the Premier League, it's something that you cannot look beyond, Rich. You would have to really focus and see the Arteta person, which I think that Mikel Arteta has realized there is a gap in terms of dominance of Premier League game, and he can take advantage of that. And it's clear, Joseph Guardiola in league game. Jurgen Klopp is out of the league, and if you want probably one of the most experienced managers for league, it is him. He has spent 7 seasons for Arsenal. And if it's about young league, oh, edu January say next year, edu October say next year, start here say next year, newly promoted side say next year. If there is one person that can give you and fill you in on what to expect and what not to expect of Premier League, you can't look past Mikel. And for that matter, I wasn't surprised when I looked at his team yesterday and I thought that no, Mikel essentially is beginning to build a team, which last season, the game plan throughout the season was to be very difficult to beat, very combative, and then use certain parts of play like set plays, physicality of first phase and reading of second balls to win matches for them. But 4 players yesterday embodied the clear picture of what Arsenal want to play this season. and essentially about control rather than chasing games. In general, there was a midfield of Miles Lewis-Kelly, Declan Rice, and a Brentford friend Martin Odegaard as a 10. But the Arsenal team that used to be very static and combative, Enra was a clear picture of how they want to do a lot of rotations in the right side axis. So Bukayo Saka, Ben White, and a Brentford friend Martin Odegaard, constantly they were interchanging movements. So you can go back and reanalyze the goals that he scored. Even from the side of the first half, even from the left-hand side, maybe another Calafiori Mobono, where Betenya as our first goal, and then the second goal as well. Then, of course, the Martin Odegaard goal that he got later in the game. So I wasn't surprised. See a ball game, some of the data that the Arsenal fans, is beginning to edge Martin Odegaard close to grace like Cesc Fabregas in the Arsenal red jersey. And those numbers now, 36 Premier League goals in 176 appearances compared to Cesc Fabregas, who are 35 in 212 appearances. So Odegaard is beginning to become not just the final face operator, but also somebody that puts the icing on the cake and gets in the goals for you. And then it was so clear. I felt that United should have paid for this. When you listen to the Miles Lewis-Kelly conversation, it was clear that Miles wanted something from Arsenal. Which you see, every transfer conversation that we have, there is a why and how and what behind it. And for me, the Miles Lewis-Kelly why was because he wanted to be assured of much playing time. Arsenal team on the ball Coventry, there was no Gabriel Martinelli with him. The future is bleak for Gabriel. The club wants to move on. In bringing in Christoph Zolis, who yesterday was impeccable in the ball, it is clear that they are looking beyond the Brazilian. And Mouse wanted that assurance.
And you want
Omunya say, I was they are now. Arsenal is a club that is smart. They won't tell you that he's not part of their plans. But to be this guy, Papa, 30 million, 40 million, they'll take. They won't complain, because he's not part of their plans. But Mouse looks like Arsenal fans still want to use him. And then 9 midfield with Declan Rice was there. 95% pass accuracy from our Brentford friend Miles Lewis-Kelly.
Super.
And Pep needs to documentary there was something that Kai Walker interview and was talking about. Kai Walker say, said, then Pep who are not debut who are not on like he wasn't, because of course when you play football you work a lot of coaches. Or say Pep midfielder. Say you pass them out. Now control 10 years. You are slowing down play.
The man
10 4-5 seconds score. You on the ball ma wenje also pa Yankomo Kevin De Bruyne all the seasons about Premier League you won't get even 20 times. I am a man awaji atene when he can play a vertical pass. According to him, for Pep, Bonima as a midfielder, you allow the ball to roll in front of you and you turn with the ball. Somebody abama. Obi am Brazil. Now I feel I'm a atene. My body in Tramunko. Now so that if it's morning man, I know that they call. You roll, let the ball roll ahead of you, then you play. And I was surprised. Yesterday I saw Miles Lewis-Kelly constantly. He allows you to roll ahead of his body and he's gone. And you can tell. So the player feels very much loved. I was not surprised. I think that it was a clinic of control. When it's Arsenal, biggest problem will be in centre back this season. Makachi was saying the definition of centre backs, there is always the two temperaments that you need. The cat temperament and the dog temperament. Be physical, be combative, be aggressive. The one that is willing to go to battles. Then the sweeper. That is the cat temperament. No, say but he cleans up the debt. But in the absence of William Saliba, even though Arsenal for now bought Ezirikons, I'm beginning to still gnash my teeth a little bit. Say, can they get that personality that sweeps behind Gabriel Martinelli? Because he was tasked to be the sweeper. And this yellow card that was needless, in my opinion, in Tarbonne. But Coventry, do you also think the game was too attacking? But maybe Frank Lampard wants to make the statement clear. There is a mentality problem that can come. One should in our first match. Okay, I can say they be defend there. If you against small teams, it's going to be difficult for you to open up. And there is something that we've not realized. Coventry are the championship winners versus the Premiership winners. So they needed to at least come and show, but and your level, no. Arsenal for it's just one match. Martin Odegaard said last year is finished. We want to do it again, and of course, and that's why I tell you, say for me, Mikel Arteta senses said there is a gap to dominate the Premier League. Nebo score. I've been seeing us. Maresca no dabeno buy. Maresca no championship depend on who's winning. Xabi Alonso can be whoever he was in Germany and Europa League. But the Premier League is a different ball game. Andoni Areola has not coached a team that will give him pressure as much as Liverpool give him as he was at Bournemouth. It's a different ball game altogether. Then when you go and look at maybe to say Manchester United, Crampoda, yes,
Deserve going to be man match.
Deserve
on
tactical top brain. Deserve's biggest problem is that the off the ball side of the game are no break. So this season, free bet, medical man one first free bet. How you invest in episode? Liverpool may concede more goals, especially from now to December in the second half. In the Liverpool match, more goals the most goals may come in the second half. Another free bet I'll give you is that Deserve match in the white is going to be below 1.5. Okay. Because in Roberto De Zerbi, his style is to outscore you. And the more he outscores you, the more there is space. And I mean, who say in or she said the captains no? Only say Mickey Van der Ven any captain. Then that's why I knew that Roberto De Zerbi owns the son. Only say Van der Ven the best starting. Van der Ven is aggressive. He will step up. The line will be high. On the same degree, your best one should be brave. The match is there 4-2, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, all of those things. It's going to be interesting. Which NMO Agwena. You see, last season Michael Carrick was good. But like I've said, this is a different conversation altogether for Manchester United. And I think that the biggest issue that Manchester United may face this season is how you will be able to break down low blocks. When you play against a championship side that will move fresh in the season, most likely, so what Jenny on tactical board, so it's going to be a 4-4-2 without the ball even.
Okay, and yeah, we'll be a board DDM. My member of first 11 now. Okay. Because first 11 now back. As usual, Lamens.
Mo first 11 as now.
Aye. And no na me who has to see am dey man.
Okay, patch.
Enti Lamens e bo.
Okay.
Mazraoui, Magoa, Captain Bruno Fernandes, Matthias Cunha, Dogu, Andre Santos, my boy. Big name. Julie Tillemans, Mbeumo Shaw, Heaven.
So it means that Heaven and then Maguire playing 4 and 5. Patrick Dogu plays on the left.
And then Mazraoui.
Nissan Mazraoui plays on the right as a right fullback. Then essentially you have Tilleman, Andre Santos as a double pivot. Still more. Then Bruno Fernandes plays as a 10. Bro. Yay. Momo Matthias Cunha off the wing.
Yeah.
And then Momo Luxordi.
Sure.
I think we mentioned Luke.
Yeah, sure.
So these are Patrick Dogu as fullback. Then Mbeumo was that it.
Yeah, Mbeumo.
Senior man in
Mbeumo.
Daddy best at it. Which I think the biggest question that Manchester United may face this season, especially a best at it match, will be how to break down low blocks. And I think a very big test. It's going to be a big test because Moon said that natural wingers are Rakusha's for the team now. Because you need the natural wingers to break down
off the bench.
Or the bench. So Amad Diallo is also on the bench. I'm expecting that in the second half, the likes of Amad Diallo will come to see if they can now come and break down the low blocks, because Hall is going to be very conservative with you, and then see they'll be able to get some win our pair against team and friend Manchester United. It's not going to be a bad one. On paper, it's a 4-2-3-1, but without the ball, you have a Brentford friend, the Crooks falling deeper together with a Brentford friend below me. Then the two becomes McBurney and Stroud for those long balls. And I think that is why all about Brentford friend is in heaven for that physicality and to prevent those second balls and transitions. It's a fairly good side. My problem with Manchester United, and I would love to watch that game, is this middle with respect to turnovers. Does Yuri Tillman have the legs to cover grounds and win the ball back for you? When Team Efreno Hall become very dominant and win those second balls, I Andre Santos, good player, technical on the ball. But again, my biggest and has always been a big problem for Andre Santos. How he wins the ball back for you to be combative when the transitions come. But aside from that, there is enough quality to break down the whole City side, and then we'll see how that is going to go. Which I don't know if I should do this before I go to Spanish La Liga now. And Chelsea for now have extended the contract of Joao Pedro, and I think so just before I came on, it was official to 2034. Now that will take Joao Pedro to somewhere around 29, 30 years.
2034.
Yeah, 20.
Govi, who be good players in the new era?
No, about last season, man, or a Chelsea star man.
I know, but for a player to sign a long-term contract,
but Xabi Alonso has come. Now Erling Haaland signed 10 on Manchester City when he knew that Pep was going to go referee. I think last season or 2 seasons ago.
And they will be himself after this season.
But see, for clubs, they all signing long next and it is for them to protect their investment. It is a Madrid song power. Send the idea and same for Atletico Madrid, Julian Alvarez. And you feel then I come 1 year when I'm a patchona, never for soon. So a bushia for also a patch or boy in a crowd on no shame into my court. 6 years. 6 years if you want the player, you buy. And I don't know. I think that Joao Pedro, any Chelsea team, there is a breath of fresh air around them, with Xabi coming in. And I also think that there is confidence. In fact, a lot of reports here say Levico or Chelsea for man corner extension and check. Estevao Willian Chelsea for man corner extension and check. I will not be surprised if Enzo Anko in this window. By the time we do January, if results are good, Chelsea can convince him and then put him also on a corner extension. Because Enzo's biggest worry is about whether the club can get back to Champions League and will be able to compete again. Plasticano. So if they'll be able to get the results, they will talk around whether the club can compete and the money, and then they'll give it to him. I'm very excited for Joao Pedro. And I think that he's one of the best strikers of Premier League. Me, Mantia said that. Nientia, Carlo Ancelotti and Fernando World Cup. Because nobody could convince me, say, Madrid Hendrik was a better player on the bench when you are chasing a game than Joao Pedro. Nobody. Even when it comes to Matias Cunha, who had been very successful in the Brazilian jersey, when you put them apart, what Joao Pedro can give you, and based on the season he had, it was important to take him. But for Chelsea fans, me sure because the season is starting with a very fresh Joao Pedro, fresh Cole Palmer, and the core of the team, one should walk up now quite. So you get to get players that are willing to come in and compete. Now, Xabi Alonso Kasembi in the last press conference, and it was very interesting to me. I won't be sorry to say Enzo Bekwan. I'll say Enzo is training. That's the most important thing. And almost every time I say Enzo a catcher Enzo Bekwan. I say Enzo Beka Bibiachan or contract. Into Enzo Beka Bibiachan, and he's training. It will say Chelsea match the Monday, so we'll not go too much into it. Now he was clear on our bench friendly regimes. Reece will three back. Reece will play as part of the back three when Chelsea have the ball. It is going to be Reece, Maxence Lacroix, Levi Cole, and then you have the two midfielders, Enzo Caicedo. Palestra is a runner, so he's good as a wing back if you need him. Then on the left you have Pep Chaveria if you want to start him from there. That means that Morgan Rogers can come into the half space and come and create it. Most of the time Chelsea have bomb matches, then they start more or less like a nominal 3-back, but without the ball it becomes an interesting. So we OBF field they will start in more or less on paper a 4-back, but when they start a game, Chelsea build it up, and this is how the 3-back shape will look like, with an obvious wing back on the right hand side, one on the left hand side. Then this is going to be Maxence Lacroix. Who's a Maxence Lacroix? The biggest attribute he has is the leadership and a command knowledge, but he's not the best channel defender. Then that will give you the protection to step into the middle to go and defend. The biggest issue Chelsea have had with Enzo Fernandez, when you play with a double pivot without the ball, the same problem I told you Tillman and Andre Santos will have, the legs to cover ground and win it back. Intuition most of the times and Enzo Maresca no pushing Enzo Fernandez corner the man kaka I say don't come ha. Almost every week, like I said, he did yellow card. Almost every week, I said, was in a yellow card. Close to ban, or near ban, now for Chabi, it's about control, Kakra. So you play Enzo next to Caicedo in the back three. The rest defense becomes a 2-3 shape without the ball. What we mean is that Nipa was starting as a left winger, no, can now come into the left half space. And I told you the last time, so on a football pitch, there are 5 specific zones. The right wide, left wide, the both left and right half spaces and also central zones, then the main central zone. So Chelsea will have their left winger in the left half space, then Joao Pedro as a number 9 who can drop deeper and come and play as a 10, Cole Palmer in the right half space, then whoever the winger comes in. The biggest strength I think Xabi will aid the bench. When Estevao Willian can come, Danny Welbeck can come, Jordan Henderson can come, Romeo Lavia can come, Coenda can come. Bench. Now you're not going to put too much pressure on Jamie Gittins to come and deliver. Okay. Because there is already a Morgan Rogers who has the job to do a Hormiti. We will see how on Monday everything looks like for Chelsea for
video there, my bookmark yato.
Video there.
Oh, dear wins here.
Say.
Sir, ono kwasha se lekra. Oh, be leader at the back near there. Adara be oba, o can the same thing.
Ana
ofufula moba.
Mega so ready.
But padia no
90 say
one Saturday be say ya be video.
Na Friday kra.
Na Friday on. Okay, be amena.
Me san so ye be Wednesday, Monday, me juma no.
Say me go to verbatima. So abrante no at Fulham. Ma fan free. Na or the stability but Chelsea
oh bro for now you know me
now you see me say wo now you choose bro ewi eche na fe agwawe adarabe onro Chelsea team anu eti so say Lecra on the leader at the back no problem enti na me bookmark at all Chelsea say some Monday money Fulham am bo wi a na fi sha say kasa video no asem.
Do you know why analysts like myself earn top dollar? Because player bar they are the pros and cons, as simple as that.
Okay, but how
Tito boss
pros no on cons no.
Oh, now na say pros the bar we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Now player na but make just on ya do nimbo but you see. I tell you Manchester United team I've told you the issues that can come there.
Mate. Any problem?
Maxence Lecroix, I told you see that's the thing. People OT killing you would have heard that. Mekase Maxence Lecroix is a natural wide defender.
Yo.
He doesn't know how to defend the channels.
Kofi,
me come asem. Nti yanko no na de meja.
Nti me conference grant me amone yanko. Conference go want me abon go.
This is your farm.
Me nyeo he.
Mama kase.
Ipacho me tio.
Me come asem. Adria Biayo is not a good channel defender. Nti when you listen, you hear. So what you say? Nti you know there. Any problem cra. Now a quick prediction on this prediction match. Quick we go straight. Wait. Mama kase now say room here.
Ipacho me tio. Kofi Adara Biayo.
Okaza Urana. Manchester United away to Hull City. I'm expecting at least a double chance of Manchester United. Everton, Crystal Palace, go is what I'm expecting now. Ipswich and Fatah Ishako is likely to play also for Ipswich Town. A game at least of 1.5. Nottingham Forest, any Leeds. Nottingham Forest should be able to win this one. Leeds were good under Daniel Farke last season, but then still, I'm expecting to say Nottingham should be good enough. Then Brentford versus Spurs, a game that of 1.5 is likely to come through in there. Jose Mourinho has said the things that he has said. And I like one of the things that he said about the captains are getting to know me. They are still a bit on the defensive. I want them to get to know me by what I do, not by my words. For me, that's what Madrid wanted. Madrid wanted somebody that will bring certain level of dominance into a dressing room. Because they're a dressing room of stars, whether I like it or not. So a dressing room of Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe. And even these three Crampono, they've not won the Champions League as much as the likes of Carvajal will win it. Or even Luka Modric. But still, these are big names in terms of the conversations. Saudi Nkomo Football Club Real Madrid. And Mourinho wanted that sanity on the club, and that's exactly what he has done. Omoko away to Espanyol. Espanyol is always a tricky opponent when you are going away from home. From all the indications in terms of Madrid games, some preparatory, and all of that, it is very, very clear say 4-2-3-1 and Omodeko games. And I'm expecting a Konate Heitson, Dean Heitson backline. Marco Crea there, left hand side, it is his. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Thibaut Courtois, Valverde, and I brought your friend Bernardo Silva. I was telling the last time, say, I think Bernardo Silva will have an integral role because he is going to be the connector and the glue between the backline and the midfield in terms of the box-to-box and the technical ball carrying ability to Kita or Parker in Fifi. Then they can fall on the deep passing ability of our brand friend Ada Gulem or even Jude Bellingham when he starts with Valverde on the right-hand side. Diamonde obviously gives Madrid a right-hand side occupation and of course the asymmetric side now the Biano Bia call left-hand side with Vini and our brand friend Mbappe. Mbappe has a simple job to do. Stay close to the goal and get the goals for us while Vini gets to rotate in order. I think the Madrid phone have a lot of quality. And in as much as Espanyol are a very stubborn side when they play at home, and of course, two DMs that work very hard without the boy Esposito and our branch event Gonzalez. No, it's a strong squad, strong midfield, but the Madrid phone should be able to win this game. Although any game I made too confident say that Madrid will win and get more goals. Just a simple win for Madrid. So maybe I almost say just 1-0 Campona or bet and say El Horn. Rodri has not been fully fit for a while now. So what to say? There are reports that Rodri is not training with the main squad, El Football Club Barcelona. That's the reason. And then almost follow on one specific plan as to how he's going to prepare and then play matches. El Barcelona team. Now, it looks as if Barcelona are beginning to think of a plan B. And now, Deco had to travel away from Barcelona and then go to Sporting to go and start conversations around our branch friend Luis Suarez. And then the Sporting center forward need a player they think that they can bring into the squad. In fact, another serious option has emerged in our branch friend Lautaro Martinez. And for me, Lautaro will give them what they want. Barca are not interested in so many things than the goals. Whether you like it or not, Barca will miss the absence of our branch friend Robert Lewandowski. Which the personality of Lewandowski, goals or ball, the consistency that Robert Lewandowski gives you, it's clear for everybody to see. But so when you're not so quiet, then you want to bring in another prolific attacker in our branch friend Lautaro Martinez. If you don't get the dynamic strength of our branch friend Julian Alvarez, because the good thing with Julian is that Julian never goes, no, but he gives you dynamism. Dynamism in the sense of waiting about right, waiting about left, waiting about dropping deep as a second striker. You can play him with another focal point, and then he'll give you the goals for you. But in that absence, and the fact that still Gail Mare no more, any Atletico CEOs now constantly berating and saying they don't want to let our branch friend Julian Alvarez go. No, so Unya. A bench friend Lautaro Martinez or even Luis Suarez should be a good one. The game against Elche is away from home. And I think one of the clearest things the way you team is the fact that Barcelona want to start in the right direction. And the Spanish La Liga this season, it's going to come down to the margins. Win your game now, we now drop a point, or could drop a point 1-2. The other one, in fact, last season, there was a change in positioning between the two clubs about 4 or 5 times at least.
Even
Xabi Alonso time, but then things begin to plummet. Then again, Barcelona at some point in time, normal caught 1 point, 2 points until they exerted dominance at the top and they controlled it. I just don't know how still Pau Kubasi is not fit to start in this game. And I think that what Hansi Dieter Flick wants to do is the open the fittest players need to start. So we're expecting, based on most of the papers that was paying, S.A. Kunde that will start, Gerardo Martin, who has grown into the role, to be fair. Abrante friend Joan Garcia, Eric Garcia, then Alejandro Balde, another player who was subject to leave, but it looks as if Barcelona will keep hold of him. Then Marc Bernal Gavi, hey, interesting lineup. Far from the main lineup that we're expecting to see with Barca and Fee if you want them. Then of course Femi Lopez who can give you goals, Lamine Yamal on the right, Rafinha central, and this is what we are seeing. So our front three-way. Who said that you say maybe he will play Anthony Gordon inside as a false number 9. But almost every training session looks as if Rafinha and a member number 9. No? For Anthony Gordon to hold a weight here. Now, so Gordon never inside into the left half space. Alejandro Balde now can keep the weight. And Lamine Yamal does so for Eric Garcia to also come into the middle and then herald it for the young boys. No, El Park and Fifi away at Elche. Another tricky game. But on Sunday, I expect Barca to do the needful. And I was so disappointed in Real Betis in Sociedad. Yeah, games are picking. I think about 3 of the codes were supposed to go through. Now, Real Betis and Sociedad. One of the games was Real Betis on drawing over 1.5. The other one was either team to win on over 1.5. Which, can you imagine? Say Betis actually go in the 63rd minute 1-0. Obi and Shebi needed just one goal. Nanka Thursday, Boomy, and Friday as well Boomy. But it didn't happen like that. And then Alex Bilbao, Etnefia, Cheng, Sevilla, Valencia will meet Celta Vigo. And of course, later in the night, it's going to be Espanyol versus Football Club Real Madrid. And of course, on Sunday, Atletico Madrid, any team friend, Villarreal, Getafe, Racing Santander, any Elche, any Football Club Barcelona. Then on Monday, there are some games also there as well. But in it, coach, they are straight up.
Okay.
And just 5 of them penny a pick here. Saying last week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're expecting saying so we are going to make some good wins. To make sure Utinia for our pen on paper see na J coach na for coffee kesi na coach. Ubeti take you screenshot also our screens so Opa Fifi Manfred all social media handles so kwa won so bit my car Oka Telegram group no one. You can get the links also to it. But remember body amount I say rich. First one A BW 6A 9D 2E 76. Second one A BW 6A 8F 4528. Third one A BW 6A 8F 1653. Fourth one A BW 6A 8E D064. Fifth one A BW 6A 8E C12F. And the last one A BW 6A 8 E A B 2 E. Rich, unze obi ohonu ma. Oto obo asia na hwe coats to ma. One kasa who dey suit you. No etwa. Enye by for say otwa nyina. Just take your time. What we've done for you is that you to your boss analysis no. So who do sika go shema ahwa na we be our Manchester news. Oh, Manchester be na kobodro. Oh, Chelsea ni. Oh, Chelsea be na kobodro. So we take our time without emotions. Stake for you, you go through. You stake. Na akucha and you are very certain saying you bet me DB ana debia onko fo no weta frese omo no mo abrochiri bet no muntimi ntwabi nti say na yemo last season no me be say this season yes answer here
okay
na ye fa number we ntuja
all right
o frɛ sa number we a onu bedi nkomo bi ye na yama no the rights to have that conversation with you no be catch you be say anete or no be catch the diaspora group name for the bet coach no and only yes share for the abroad apps no any screenshot oba on sabeka nti nipa number here 0555 5 year yes 0555 865271 0555 865271 rich
okay
and one
and I say yenim se nyankopon beto green e de agusu na obi obetwa bibia no atimi e di Stanley Suka. As the Alpha Calabaranchi, I knew he would get a yellow card. He should reduce his aggression and be thoughtful, or else against the big boys, he will always be at risk. Stanley Suka and this message at the Abba follow the trend. As a good day, Richardo. I'm just imagining Manchester United losing this weekend and how you face the crew on Monday. Fifi, Kinsman, and Fatilo. I say it will be sweet rough on Monday. The show will be cha-cha sports or Teteresta sports. Monday is a share yen discussing Manchester waha. Mimi chu sana miyeno. Seneye boho city. Mimi se ensiba esia. Yemfanze bi abo game na wie. Na yasha Manchester Monday production. Yemfa Manchester nka ho. Nti Monday no cha-cha or Teteleta Sports. All right. Who's about to the message now? Bania Kinkai at the Amao. Gabriel Safo say, love this guy Fifi. His delivery is top notch. Zachariah Simon also good morning, Richardo and your crew. I've heard that the maestro son, Andre Ayew Pele, want to contest for the presidency of the Ghana Football Association. Meaning say Ubisaya now is it a confirmation or but me matiti sani but I think rumors.
Rich.
Because I mean said they deny Jina Babika.
Rich, he's only asking certain be a rumor anywhere baba be no cray.
Oh, of course, I need it. But as
Nkoma akoso.
As we speak here.
Yes, Nkoma akoso ampa. Ti Nkoma akoso.
Why expressing interest?
Yes, Nkoma akoso.
Se bia dachi bia no.
Yes.
Efa akonya no nso enya. Aboka ko pribi.
Perfect. Even last week. The day Asian pennyfo bi assign no mudi nkomo.
Okay.
Nkomo de akoso pa.
Okay.
Asian pennyfo akese miensa bi. Nti interest no ho ampa.
Okay.
Nti yes,
Kenya bad. I think that we need footballers in Isubi.
Exactly.
Almost for my dears and umbra. And the day said they know he's young and he knows football.
Yes, only
to almost for my ideas and brown ball.
One said there's somewhere to force. Say all transform Cameroon. We need people like that. Omo passion no honum. Say omo ti agro na say omo nim agro num. No be baba be fa in game no. Very important because unfortunately for us, lawyer Kwesi Nyantechi wasn't a footballer. Not only the any Emra side. Yes. Offer curtain so Ket there
football.
We see football, but agro rankasa no onye footballer say or boy at the highest level said the demo abono. And ticket there no about branding and the business aspect of the game were only. But you only maybe or where the obelake. That's what I say. But the deno exactly what bought into an individual bia. And see such personalities mon board and the brand the crowns no and also the sponsorship and your days how resort away.
All right.
In good.
We'll be threatening me YouTube.
Sir?
And just when be. I said no crime. But I know
just in a few.
I said, Richard, if you don't stop attacking Fifi, we the Chelsea fans will come after you. Okay, Mumra. You no attacking the America. All right, yam referee na yamedi Congress no hon komo yi pa. Emfama na yeka Congress at here for Congress ni nyina no. Edua at the major stakeholders. They are near Tarkon Street and so the football people no. Omo say ye be start season bia na enso omo kotena se. Na omo dwendwene eye agukansie no ho so ho. Ekwanya Ghana football. Baby e feel say ye to sini. De ebe ya ebetimi ahihye baby e to sini no emma so ho. Se na bia ye football no baby enia e pese kokoduru no. That penacle no. Ano so ebetimi akokoduru ho. Then again, Ghana Premier League Ganyami Adoma and next month on the 4th and so Eshas, you know, Yashe, Nafi, and so the home and command of football people. If I the major stakeholders, I'm so a quotenasia, I'm a cook boo home. Na enumu and Minister of Youth and Sports, Yera Kofi Adams, Ekopiemu Jumedina say. Na all Casano and na or say Ghana football, no say, come here, say. As any padudu na ni said anje so interest no kwa na ekofom na ogidi say enema makum yenu bi na ama yen Ghana football na sin yen Ghana Premier League no and so ekofom because compete with brands bi yen tie minister ebra onu sunya akonya okasa o Congress national fi yen to aso mfama mo.
Our league is competing with the English Premier League, the Championship League, TikTok, streaming platforms, gaming, and every other form of entertainment available on the mobile phone. We are competing with all these platforms. So don't think you are alone. That is why you must do things to attract. Have you seen any butterfly move to any plant without flowers or fruit? So you need to create something to attract them. They don't owe you. We actually have a responsibility towards them.
Okay. Asikanina. Na Ghana Premier League ni nipa no ase onse ni option bia oye denya enso no hwe but enna no nipa no all options bebre including the Premier League which in the tum say is too big Ghana ni bia ani je ho enti say e pese league no that attraction na first e wono e twi nipa ko stadium no ye say e dia ye nye bibi sonko unique abetwa manfo amom so no etimi akọ a stadium nano ana president Kwesi Nyantakyi aso je microphone no so legal fee ye bebo no asikasam ana hunsem nyina no meka Kwesi Nyantakyi ete for mumfa nche mo ate man kan ye kra pato eketu kreku ira ketu kreku ono so je aye microphone no yinti ebra ono so announce afi liga bebo no sikasam na emfanto komondo so mfa mamo.
Now, the 2026-2027 GPL champions, apart from the prize money that I've already announced, will drop this year. For the season beginning 2026-2027, each of the GPL clubs would receive $1 million Ghana cedis each again. I don't think I felt the energy. Or perhaps I should just withdraw the offer. The winner of the GPL will take home 3 million Ghana cedis this year. Total, we're going to pay 9.5 million in prize money for the just ended GPL season. Our partnership with Adesa Limited has ushered in a new era for football broadcasting in Ghana, enhancing the production quality, reach, and visibility of our competitions. Although there remains scope for further innovation and improvement, the progress achieved so far has been remarkable and provides a solid foundation for the continued growth of our football. 9.5 million will be paid.
Okay, enti yera ketokreku ebra no so eje mic no and I say league na be bon club bia 18 teams no obi abenya 1 million Ghana cedis. The Obaji League na sini na so no ebenya 3 million Ghana cedis plus a jack vehicle worth $29,000 and na ono so betimi enya bla ni na ye de agu graphics so a odone onso onsa ebetimi akabi nano na after congress no clubs ni bi enso akasa. In fact baby any gold stars penimpa area kwasiadu ono so ede ensem we na de tu dana afi judo usuba for also Ebrem.
It should be an easy because from my side, maybe teams are in camp and everybody needs to pay one or two things. The players may demand some commitment, maybe as part of maybe their sign-on fees, enticement, and all these things are in the direction to help create a good environment and a good euphoria for our league. Okay,
Kwasiadu, baby, any gold stars, Penipa. And now this sound community too. There say 1 million na club bia enya no obobo efe na baso pa because clubs no one more bills as o mutimitua and ogidi say 1 million Ghana cedi no ebetimi akofa na omode ayibi e de afio judo usuba for
yeah rich
me sure say fefri congress
mati me da say rich pacho oda mama mi hu memre ohu and then one yama be 3
o kona say o ye ya memo
no say me touch on issues 3
no problem tie nko mami nje
I don't enter make say me hu me time on the show mo ha mechichem enti
me ka mema mresen
ka che me o de 20 minutes cry
okay nya
me 30 and campaign
mama 20 o de me de 20
na enti na me drew hand we ka chem say Jude
mama 20 say
safety
duba kwa ba pounds manu miensa there's only 11:23
Matia na me say
uwie
Matia wadaroma
okay
Rich and it may be about Alex Banso something special and they had to focus on unveiling.
Oh yeah, you I say registration of players in the account to Nyamia Sunday you know.
Yes.
I say you do home common
education and something special about Alex Banso. Stay tuned. Had to focus messing on.
Right.
Rich. Me patrol edi kan ohun. Je asuma minister kan no. Je me the paper bi aba.
Kotogo Express ana.
2002.
Yeah.
O de abobo players bi din kakra abobo players bi din.
Me hu Ablode wa ha.
Ohun name Ablode also ohun edin be Godwin Ablode champion.
Me hu Daniel Akwa
Pasti Wata. Josam
Michael Osemba Nana Ahindua
Obuani nipa no hey we am so
players were there anymore and me hu aya Abubakar Kankani
ono no oda de man as goal okay Kankani no oda goal pa mo there at least one name.
It's where Kotoko Goldfields.
Yes, 2002. Beboa. Nhyira. Yeah, keep your records by in Tisabia Betania Casania near the and you say be a ye did. The can be a enemy. Your whole records were a bit me a refill. Massa Kotoko Express and him no. Mama was she a dear be el honum. Rich, the patron says, dear Bakuha, ministers and no kind into you. About the NTA and be here say, I was say to me keep his stars. Me patron Kotoko or Bo Africa. Now she get fee and not orgy. She said the same. Gate fee 2002 Muntian year 2002 on this one and go no more
popular stand 15,000 China me who ha
o the entity scan 15 cities
okay
but and
can 15 cities right
Titi scan 15 cities are 2002 24 years ago and Timbacho the next come where say and 1,005 meboa
and something like 20,000
more, which is 20 cities then.
Outer wings one year 50,000, and VIP annex, you know, a year 100,000, and the main VIP, and also a year 250,000 Ghana cedis. Sabre Nusika.
Rich. That was 2002. 24 years a year. One kotoko get fee anoji.
2002.
24 years. As to stadium ye mama nipa etnet na samre no and electric pole ni nyina no. Electric pole. I be so nipa be ku no. Na manfo teso, omo teso. Miniam bacho na aka say dey ntia. Names be na aboboy no. Me de pepa ne ma no ubo names be. Anya stars di na aboy. So about stars. Stars na minister kan ho asem no. Anya no di na mama abo sisi stars di no abo. A club at that time Isaac Buachi Magic, national team player. Okay, so go no say against Zimbabwe. Oh no, they have scored. Commentator. I say Kranana India. Ekra Mike or say Ember Power. She names are now over. Godwin and blood the champion.
Eric ko share go bu abrankesi. Sabre Yera Kwabnankesi ya wanya ne baby koyi. Papa nyamemfa ne kra ense. Oh. Yewi o cheniska. Na kotoko ne Kesben e wa brankese Erbe Queen shegu ye pega ball no man say odi na chi ne hwe Kesben epo no
pai o ye
odi ball no to no busu say 10 ya pa 1
akomko na refi kotoko
ye brankese sorry ya no Chinese
kotoko ne Dolphins e kon fa so shares ago no
quality striker
Fradia bra entino naturally ni pani be ko stadium okay kotoko ne work before a bebo game ade ba be chikrama yabo no na edom o famakum side on na ba bia aboma na ade chi no by area 12 na TV3 I announcement say e mo obi an ha ne hu nsi baba yara na e hwa ye madada so okay rich imagine so first ne kra na ye nya say ya chiche mu e bia nipa be 35,000 be timi akọ stadium no wonim say first ni etimi nya nipa 100,000 mo ko baba yara ye be pon no momome no obi ade ne de omo ko abu akwa enam kwan so omo mfro ka o omo nante fom e di ball ne hu nkomo e di kotoko hu nkomo omo mbefa KTI akwa kopie mo Astown enso de omo momome e ko di nkomo
minister said that na sankofo no many options now omo options TikTok the Premier League yewo other site okwa Canadian no cost stadium onyana and e bi kro onyana times 2
rich ade ni the minister can enti the minister the stars can also kind of the stars never be share conversation no say or appreciate the fact say ba bia e wi asna ba bedru ni embo na bedru no and so ye be ma stars abamum no ye nya ni pa ma om ko stadium na say no can e ho ne kokosi which all right rich enti anto ye be sia say atisa ade na say conversation no ye try say ye maintain ye key players ye quality players ye top players na say beef up the squads with another quality no bra because first no rich say obi baba be bought even as gold Nhyira Coco Cheke as gold they had this number 10 no free Cote d'Ivoire Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire 1996 yabo AFCON no okay omo number 10 Ibrahim Akoni let's go there kwakofanaba obaba be she enti one quality na aba no ufa goalkeeper ya ni bombi waki Ghana ni Togo okay sa goalkeeper we na tete yesa no ni bombi waki no o say go force Jesse enti dia ya ka no bro eba besi se omo kra na efra bontene ba league no also me nkofo blo me so special ni maintain em quality babra udi sa nkomo na quality na eba ba besi ade ba akoso eba ba besi sikasem meboa rich sikasem ni so ye ka hwan na edeba any supporters yi because bro me betro ade bi hwe 1 million Ghana cedis at each club enya no efe na fam wo bo na wo modern by rich nyame adom local no ye die tuamu bienim rich metimi ya catch as a matter of fact say 1 million Ghana cedis no but all the dollars mo say enya $100,000 rich ma min kan tell say Ghana ha club will be averagely omo so omo yo omo niam yi omo person omo compete no Ghana ha no on the average obi a spend $400,000 be pa cho be get one now jintum metime ma break down bi betima say $400,000 and on the average you club one any average or person obo bra Ghana ha no kotokoni as we take catch us almost spend around $700,000 a season. Now this is the breakdown me ye ne kitua bi o hom po a ubenya mfonyini no rich ye be season as ya so be signings patcho me boa signings are be no financial signings ne nko a enko still be e bia $50,000 per because me no nanim say yetimi quote player ba ko yetimi quote iska $50,000 $100,000 nansi out of folk e ko use upon fidelity o ko mo midfielder ho South is come boy almost say almost just 60 billion for one player and many am no nyina say young players na at least almost certain level no almost buono e was through e two dia no say averagely say kotokone ascribe or say we jai signing on future meboa say we jai or dey friend no pro rata or che egu nipa ne salary so but rich even with that for clubs no more signing on no rich obefa no na say Ediana Stars of our players no form no otimi fa bi 2 billion 3 billion say o form players o mo sign o mo amemi di nkomo kakra Ediana Stars nko signing so ye no o wie no one spend kra no Ediana e ko be $100,000 pe nkomo kakra mi di no ne signings nko a onim dia Samuel Buadu J assigning on fee rich Samuel Buadu assigning on fee or J 1 billion Patch $1 billion not the bad dollars more say ya no $10,000 Buadu in a month ewo Ediana e budget 300 million me patch in dollars say
na unkan in cities in these cities
Debio say uti
300 million OCDs and 30,000
yeah and the 30,000 no ya can see ana onso asan epia the court dollars him say be ya conversation no na pese amount for etiase yi me see scan efe no edema no I just say each club enya $100,000 so each club enya $100,000 rich okay say oh fa coaches kra na ye de omo ba no coaches aketua menua omo je wo de no to nchen oh fa players signings are omo ye rich your dear friend pre-season brand batch me boy na ni die mu a pre-season
but campaign
yes pre-season no code 3 weeks pe 3 weeks no say oh fa players oh 40 and 30 yemfa technical team ni other members ni ma meka ho rate odi omo ka ho na a day hotel am be kwa koda no a day no per head no obi edi aduane even 150 cedis by simple calculation for nipa 40 no a day near 6,000 cedis a day yes 6,000 cedis no which is around $3,000-4,000 patch on me boy and $5,000 simple for 6,000 cedis a day and no a day rich makan hotel no be kwakoda no fanise nipa 2 and a da one room omu kwako campe 3 weeks enti hotel no mu koda ne kwa no 300 cedis a day calculated by 3 weeks patcho minim say am I making sense bro
me too
calculated by 3 weeks rich enti even omo be wie saa niema no car omo de koi fuel omo beto other maintenance cost ye can so anye refiser clubs no your auxiliary workers wo see your staff be a yem form di kra emamu omo mucha grass so we rich one shekra na on season na sena nkasa no nessa 1 million Ghana cedis no AF na bo na omo de which untimi blame no say sika ni mpomunia na asa wo ho pacho mebo a good enti rich the young can say ocean year pa their clubs no they are still suffering e wom FN they were so mo asene but $100,000 no or the man clubs na eye na so ntimi mbo season endru ba bia kotokone askra de anom ye mobile da no meto mebu yo mo calculation and many ade ani nie say rate unim say oh bobo ho na be ko ba bi ti say imagine say bia has air kotamali kotoko air kotamali and obi kotamali say has air kotamali by has policy no at least or say occur a day before the game say sanity so ko do ho be da hotel say nya flight no de ko no the bus kra na ekwa hotel na has better no kotamali hotels are very expensive so do I call that enti check it say has every 3 days because so that one ade echi no bobo na obobo ni we want me inside mo just outside that to the following day kotoko sa clubs do na sa enti bro say o share FNF fam de enti na na make say as a cat nani agye bro so maintenance waya ade o but yendru baby a o sika no yintimi mfam ball green drew baby a na menka sa asudie ne do no nko anso so se so no na boa e ma sa clubs ni sika se no tumpon asem na Mr Minister kan no asudie da ban ni nso bi me nua de ntina make sa bro enti rich ofu se state no aye ne se companies a mo ba oman no mo pese mo ba be ya adwuma no ye pese aboa mo se de anim se na mo ye no minim sa sadia first ubie company etimi ma 10 years and a company bi ba so ya we ya ma 10 years tax free say be ya betimi employ nipa me patro re sadia na omo ye no aban na ye with the purpose say ye betimi matemamufo anya adwuma ye football ne nso employment ni create na meboa tie de nti na ne state ne nso en lobby omwa look
is that the South Africa companies no you review of tax way no say na be abetimi e de sa sika na aboa class ni
bi bra na nkienya ne sa enti e bia nka Guinness bia Guinness e de baba be shape e bia Guinness be $5 million or the beba because pressure bia ni so rate nanka bia mining company bi ono so the be $5 million bro imagine sanka yes legacy pa nanka asma ye kan anka efe no sika ba be $20 million $20 million no bra me pacho 18 teams rank obi abenya say $1 million ne kakra wa chire rich it's emergency and clubs ni nya $1 million ya season asia I keep your players obi betimi the $30,000 $50,000 abano ababa before mu players ensi ye league ni so be very competitive because and you see any quality ne dia ye wo na mum problem ni se ye ni sika ye de be keep your mu u blame clubs na edu ba bi nso enye ye wo nya fair to them na raise our conversation ya ye di minua unim ya umpanyimfo mi no so mo na lead this conversation we no mo ani bre woni e ma bi titire be TV writer hwe kotokone has ordini hu unim sa oba 2002 a pato shade shade we na ka kire me kotoko na ne sponsor ye say ebo anim ho brother sponsor na kotoko kra no
Space Phone, right?
Space Phone.
Yeah.
What you say?
That is 900 million
more. It's kind of 100 million. And Tiana can.
Sans can I'm from one kaka because as my confused.
Why confused?
Me with a convert your ben and I yes some more mutation say no bet me converted your mind and sika mu I can bet me a because I know that time. That is a betmensa time.
Betmensa time.
Space Phone 900 million cedis deal and Space Phone edema asante kotoko
bro
and abe MTN
yes that time na ya kan me catch wrong and you say bosremu ko tina me kan na me the records na that time na Ghana na you need sponsor for a league Kotoko as a club ekura 900 million from Space Phone but not Ghana na you need sponsor for our league. How do you see? Because the brand Asante Kotoko is huge. Heart of Folk is huge. And that was the period I reached. Na Kotoko, Ebo Africa, Ebo Niye. Obolik, Ebo Niye. And to all Sky Space Phone demand Sam Reno 900 million cities.
You see,
yes.
Sometimes, Jude, I am confused.
Bro.
There be a man for citing Herbert Mensah as an example. Yes, Herbert did so well.
Yes.
Omakotoko Yakono. But even Herbert no crana Yakano. Herbert wanje Africa wanje league.
Herbert Angelic wanje Africa.
But still no man for Stadium.
Yes.
Now the Kotoko ayedi hunkomo ebia Africa na meka sa eludi omo. But league ni dia
Kotokoje.
Alpha players. Yen Ukraine hu fe game Bella. Nansenya Brantie oko ayi you can say. Libya this boy
lefty
this striker taponi as him friend of Black 30. Oh, I've forgotten the name. Yenya Kwampoku. I mean, yenya quality players on my best the Kotoko jersey. But still I'm from Stadium. So my question is even a Batman's time now they be men can say you did champion. Papa no time one league. Africa no one GB. Bana Stadium yama. Ene Kotoko Timiji league no. Players papa na at least ebia enye bebrede but there are players I think can ultimate che air supporters do omo Stadium. Sonny Yakuba muni na abebe mu a. It had the international man for Jimmy Stadium.
I mean sure a good question will be.
I think that we should do a scientific research. Who reason dia ade na dia ba.
Scientific research na ani.
Na say bi. Me kai I feel GPS. Yeah, kwabonti bi se bi sa amamfo a. And me I feel say minister asem na all kan. Eno ni ade ba ko e se hweniye. First no. Na amamfo ni options bebree. But then nipa no options bebree.
Why are there by rate unim? Me patrol eno wo ho. By rate still wutie quality na kan wa se. Me menhwa agency ade so. Obo so ni akubadi. Me tro. Dr. Kwame Chei Dr. Kwame Chei. Ne time no. Time na Kotoko. Efa Abdul Fattah Safiu. Yeah, na oba be body ama techiman DBB. Kotoko efa quality. Kwame Kontemo. Kotoko fa Ajimambedu no. Spiritus Azamo. Check Satai no. Satai na man force asese so mu Stadium. Eya no na Kotoko. Record bi ba Ghana ha. Kotoko against Cotton Sport Garua. Near record is ha any bida. Now you over 6.something billion. So obekaya. A man force asese Stadium unim. See sustain is ha de na with the quality and on board. Eme Kotoko performance na all done dino. That time na no obi anim said DSTV or ye share la lega ye wada lexa ye hwe. But sa period nimpo ye na nsen de ya obo so sa period no. Si etimi sustain ade na ye ne kakra. Nuni reach and can make catch as a matter of fact say by now supporters near person Muko Stadium no. And come over because that time no magazine for no more asase eba and Dr. Kwame Chei ade bi na ye that time mini adren mo beka ya no muko magazine no mo kodi nkomo enti omuko adwentimi ko asori ye papa Ebenezer mo nsori ni nyina no enso so ni nyina no muko no mko kasa
enso amamfo master
no na amamfo ba
because yenya dude yeti krom ha at a point Kotoko Agi league tienyo Kotoko Agi league no which supporters say oh na say team ni nyade because league no kram ntimi Kotoko won the league time I didn't trophy man ye big gate fee still Stadium anyama empty stadium.
Rich.
It means there's something wrong.
Rich, that be utie. It's not okay.
Every supporters, no, they be a few say, and your quality. Team Nhyira result, no, a Kosovo Park, and so enkoye, no. It goes beyond that.
Rich, that be tie. Still, our quality, it doesn't go beyond that. Tie. I do bet me.
Yenya Kotoko, enya a Brazilian player.
Na mebo,
Yenya Kotoko, or the Brazil player. Sisi, and then ya kase. Kotoko Nsane, Moroccan goalkeeper.
No, Rich. The first Saudi Brazilian player ba ko ba be share league num. And as all the menu buy, all the Vini buy no, Vini no, ball no be boy. Apart from Chile no be Chile tea. And ya no na ma man for ba stadium. Asem na me kan hu se me fa Kotoko Express no quality na American man ka ba ku mienu pe o pitch ni so nyina na quality Dr. Kwame Cheritai na ye ka no pitch ni so no wo hwe ba bia na quality tina satisfaction ba eno na ma manfo decide so mbeko stadium etiam ko fa ba ku mienu na wi amenko fa under 17 for bi mejire njiro expect say obenya de open no the American man ka de ba ku ho asem a catalog of factors anyhow we'll be able to communicate to our supporters because Dr. Dianu Refi a man for Salsiaba Stadium time na kotoko area sorry and no mudi nkomo Echo magazine and no mudi nkomo etro mo say asante kotoko say na Echo no almost asie enti until your best idea no see an ebe and reach him the internet make us kotoko ne as LED can
and every man become a 2 minutes
me 20 minutes ni na asa
no time ni
fees ma me 5 on camera so ati
me also turn 5 am
also finya me sra ati bra me for 1 minute nya na me for 6 minutes na baby for great
5 those are the basics
I come to
now we do the women ma wana agro wi
unim sha Ghana how say revolution the other
5 amanana
man come some jam also betem tu ano oh mini amo ano so so asa me one ti me ka ho amenya
odita
oh so
the 5 catch of 5 into the next
and me talk to
the next 11:30 there so we na me call Kingsman
30 seconds on asem we rich yet krom hanom Herbert Mensah eba o see efe sa ye bot lega efie no 50-50 no mempere kotoko we have the numbers enti ye no be bolik no near chase can pay we sisi e na o say a winner takes all and I say home takes all Herbert na this revolution ne buy anya adwuma ye twamu secondly na ne amponsa abreso na ne ayade me bona baso o say efe adenti ne bom matches under floodlighter mo say ye club no ye na o say fan woka won organize and I see mbo games under floodlight I don't know say fan woka yentua sai sika no omuti ase atwa mu so okai about time Kotoko has barely the conversation and say look say TV right money ba mu mpo we are the big boys and here matches na man for shemo and no I will say a greater tank of sika no modemaye omun se sa de na se me de hu part 2 be ba reach him sha na me ka Alex Banso ohu me here no 1 minute pe na me de unveiling the nyina aka Alex Banso eno hu goal akra de say super fantastic goal boy near brutal me try akwanja jai new Messi treatment ya Messi no
how's the player been now you best start this season see anom so captain ground up in Boaje kasala
india me mankabi
me ground back ko vu kai
bra and I say Hussein ne di obo bro obobo ni ye hwe me ba nansi Hassan Kofa Sani Mohammed yanka ho asem abosu Messi ampa so obobo no hwe me tro sa kra we wo hu se ha se manani akone ho a efrade wa talent papa me tro obo both legs ne left ka na ho de ne ne left na me tro ade bi boy ne bo 7 obo 8 obo number 10 and osai boy 11
any has do omunyama ne
wa for super player na oni ade akra no agene CSA ball mu agene on this side she eno se goal bi o classic goal bi na akra boy ne fa so se goal na oni o carry se ball run no
kerese na ade
ball no ogia obema orgasm me can't kerese no why the orgasm I saw obema we oba uti obema
my pressure
Alex Banso there be me man pressure ba kokra di onim ade ye nim ye ka be about Sani Mohammed or ye ho adwuma reaching him boy wrong eno goal or say se me nua fifia hwe goal na nka ni be je keke hwe ye man pass no player bi anko be ka so all control ball na so go no say high ntimi nyi eye na akwa no baby o the angle of the ball
he has a idea ntimi
and ye betimi ayi and empa mande ye be bro has to watch out for this boy the new Messi obema ye football no mu aye de na me amitim Kotoko akwa we beti ye democracy ka brutal boy ni bobo me try akwa we na last season so obeka pam Asante region under 19 U19 no boy we na je best player no
okay
boy we o boy we Alex Banso the new Messi
Alex Banso
the new Messi for how to focus ne dribbling or super or pace but ne weakness ne say men fa ball to slow man no now rich me di man no si no how to me say me nua no ba
okay
how to focus why me wan wo rich what for player like John Enchi Oko Egypt, the first foreigner, onya the most goals for a brandy at a point, 100 goals for Egyptian league. Oko a lot of records. Was a national team Jessida. A brandy when a Buama Dreams FC Africa no. Rich, what for such a huge talent? The level was Rocha Ubia. Bra, Velina, ye unveiling Manina Corona Chiamam Fuaba. I am no more Yasem, a group of unveiling Kana in Penyacono. Sure, wouldn't the Osan Cars eh? Tell me Joseph Iso, Dreams FC fan. Dreams FC fan, Joseph Iso, and level ni John Enchi on Benny Baby. But in the dreams here, or said the Boka more than $5,000 or Coco beat a beat. And no more drone. A try no, ya didn't money. I can so kind of unveiling. London want for player like John Enchia. Who unveiling to say a normal player be on also Babesha has Jesse. Ye unveiling money in your corner, na whom memra.
Okay. That's why. Jude, or time no aso. Yentoso Emfa Emamo Isaac I see do also down to be bleed. I think I said also the poor attendance is because of journalists. Those days radio stations were not spending 1 hour 30 minutes on foreign news. Kovi? Michel some friend who say the mona. Mama man phone costed when I
say Ghana football.
It's a mama say Ghana football.
Well, would you say what the person sent and any our can fits exactly into what the minister is saying?
Okay.
So the minister no know part change and it's ene. Who I will say Kotoko has a top product, ton, ye bo Saturday, Sunday. No. Ebedru ono Chelsea abo 50 man for that analysis. Ebedru ono Nhyira FM edit another analysis at on Chelsea match. Ebedru ono YouTube for be analysis on Chelsea, Barcelona, Madrid, all of those people. Why is it that these content creators are interested in creating content of Star leagues, no, but not your league?
I'm on for person consuming.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, me ton day. Every media house is a media marketing company. Or your content here the ton day no surround pa Monday omo pomunti. Ah, on Facebook, on YouTube omo the actual playback. Radio soon advert here cost. It can go as long as an hour. Because what we used to buy electricity, then I better data. Which me, if you inquire, I pay 770s for Starlink. We are say just 770 FMS. Starlink each month. My phone and buy. So as a creator, semi create story around
Chelsea na say
I'll get my money.
I'll do it.
Why would I waste my time? If the Ghana Premier League, Argentina, when the Black Stars come to Ghana, Chelsea has the match quickly we switch to being Black Stars. Because at that point, the Black Stars is the consumption. And that is where people want to come and consume. Essentially, it's about marketing competitiveness. Oh, marketing. Which the space is big. But the same companies now. And then Manchester United must sign a contract with Betway. Meaning Unima. Betway has gone to sign contract with Manchester United. But Ubakum Krano, meaning Ghana for UK, they are not Oya code the moment, they are unable to access Betway or abroad. In Ghana, they try more, but they take the money from here, they go to Manchester United. Why have they not sponsored Asante Kotoko or Accra Sefuk? Almost only a football club, Nibia. And now, me person me catch you say, for me, it's a marketing problem. A marketing problem. Rich, me, I have a problem with the marketing strategy of the GFA. Marketing is not just about names. Marketing is about consistent effort and then gradual growth.
They were starting League 4th year. No promo, nothing.
Yes.
Billboard.
Yes. By now, San Newman should have been like the basic things. I am starting a season this year. It's as simple as that. And then, okay, say this is our home. Yesterday is our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. Yeah, the other woman. I could be a bit in go across the country. They can sing it. Marketing. And it is annual. Oba obeyo, Oba JMA marketing. According to Nasi, they are all separate. Nasi is called President Mama. I don't catch any say. And I say, no, I bet that Luma. One of them, or Bok Dokufa there. No, say, time I no 2016 or one of those campaigns. No, MPP, no. Ne nephew be ban ho. Crack it all. So no MPP in DC. Your mama in DC ni. Boba ro 2 MPP no. Okay. Say, and you're not marketing. Ma crack it 6 years, 7 years no. A run it team. Which I'm giving a marketing clinic this morning. No. Ya marketing you ma akraketon onyum no to a right team and then ubeti ya to jeme sepre onto one go for the one to man and marketing. So in all of these things we need to be innovative with our marketing. We need to be intentional with our marketing. Diaju die nya enokre emba power me kra me kai me wachi moda kraketwa sa time yet na him do am papa gamer na me matse na India so I was wondering on that sports stadium I wanted to see how the India could play at I don't know if you or was no Bokoto yes could play at without weight. We go and see because of the marketing of those brands, which it is important for us to now begin proper marketing from the ministry. The onus lies on them. Anything I make catch us me, I would never blame the FA when I've not blamed the ministry. Say problem bar, I will blame both of them together. Rich Minister General Okasa, do you know what he should have done? He should have told them, say, okay, and I can't ban also 1 million, where am 3 million? Yes, so the policy direction and the abane say, you person league Motiana Mosio, Moya Kotoko, Moya Has, Moya 1 in. Now you are competing with TikTokers. You are competing with whatever. Into from the government point of view, your person Ghana League. What we want to do is that we have brought in a policy that before 1 million a day, man was claps, 25% is for marketing. Into before so business yes, you bring out your marketing plan. Okay, may your billboard say, Udru Joshua. Ube say chidboard waga das picture boss boy kuma pima pimbeba ebia wudu adum ebia wudu yeah. Okay, we are musician bi okumase ebia ne yesi asaka boys na tisi okumase anase kwaku smoke ana hwan omu twanum ama kotoko eno ne ngis omu nyeska omu so asantefo itomo ye for kotoko e dey started your pushy. Okay, we are ye ba ko hu nhire fm4 yentimi ntua advertisement ni airtime say any other companies ebetua no but almost some stakeholders almost my 50% discount ye pese eduru ono ma ye bought kotoko highlights every 3 days be anase bisa marketing
mekai advertisements at times Sidney Thompson
yes
mo bro for ages han nyum no
yeah
se kotoko ba Africa na ye de nyum ni tumu a
marketing
what is said there Oboko stadium
marketing
yes mekai
marketing reach me. I've worked by the grace of God 6 years, no, about 7 years in pharmaceutical marketing. From MSN, Shalina, Ad Pharma, Tobinco. I've traveled across the length and breadth of this country. So the only people are 12, I mean Namdoma. We could go no chrome to sell medication. Because any year drone will say any year drone. And this is not even herbal. Herbal is on radio. This one you go straight to the doctors that prescribe the medication. We call it pharmaceutical and medical representatives. You do doctor no, you do a presentation why the molecule in your medicine is superior to that other medicine on the market. Which you have to come on the doctors. Oh, maybe a Ghana Cardiologist Society. Oh, when you go to Dr. Lambert's money the other day, when the Ghana Cardio Society comes in, I have pictures on Facebook. Who's a big cardiologist, Dr. Lambert? I've told you the story of how I met Dr. Kofi. I went to Living Waters to go and do my business as a pharmaceutical rep. I had to go say, then you want to teach from my analysis now. I'm saying, Doc, we can be.
No, Drew.
Yes. You tell them why the molecule in the what you are selling is important. See, drone ARB and they tell me Satan the woman why is that they tell me certain better than the other ARBs on the market? It's important to market, and marketing has to be aggressive. It has to be continuous, and then maybe any quality. But we need to start creating the stars ourselves. Yeah. We need to put them on billboards. Tell me the story of Richard Boadwagadas. Boadwagadas now has the phone on better kotoko phone po say oh okoye no asa go fa sebi player when yabaro. Kotoko can tell a story of renaissance. Hey, Boadwagadas no your captain or the club means no asa back. If for Domaf Diana for Akofa Brekumini player what's his name Doboko Toko Ankuyi Osako Amankura has gone to what is the story of Amankura? Why is Amankura the brokening? I didn't say Amankura. I'm friend of Bruno Messi. Yeah, I didn't say Amankura the Bruno King, the Bruno Messi. Story around him. Put Amankura on the billboard in Diana. Rich, so Udru Doma Senior High School. And in an Ajiman Bedu Park, just about 5 minutes. Okay. I've slept in a guest house close to that place before. So Udru Wanuma, why is it that when people who are the knack of marketing when they're able to get the students to come there to come and watch? Rich, see, you can't say, oh, you're training in your big players, you're training in your correct stadium, you're training in your correct park, Abwa. See, you wink a crack, I won't say, maybe no. Vili players, the bomb, Charlie Park, you ain't even trap player also. Towards a woo player, near flying about Kumasi and said, now Boka also can miss our invest in my stadium. Okay. Who was a mobile man? Say, Charlie, I didn't even know how to say, it be a big company, because multimedia is a private marketing company. Also, it's about making revenue. Right. You don't expect multimedia to come and use 2 hours of airtime. Now, only the salary of riches we don't go. So come on, fast you know, now multimedia can in album or say okay. Me pesco baby, you are here. No, but still, see, now 12,000 in this cake 12. So wow. 12, and I only 12 in one. 10 and 11.5.
Physical friend of Martin can insurance 4.5. Second man, the message be about now. Menko Kisman Kalala on for no so far cancer so na be lights no. Emfa Emma second moment I say Richard. The GFA only think about how to market the Black Stars instead of their own product, i.e. the GPL. Since Ketokeku took over as the GFA president, I've never seen any GFA communicators talking about the GPL. You only hear from those GFA communicators when Black Stars are in town. Anyway, let me welcome the Egyptian king, John Entry, back to his mother club across the work. The GPL is indeed coming home. Jacob Mohamed and this message at the Abraham Kalala. Ye league asemo ye ending.
Richard, I see. Adi edin pa we ase. I say we convince you be a manager de biatum.
Sure. Edin papa.
And branding of your league, you know, it's go beyond teams, FA, players, because and can nipa ye bit me your my league na my ye supporters no. Convincing a supporter Sunday. With your DSTV, that's a crabby use Nigeria. Ebia man and this. Obenya Premier Leagues from Anapa 11:30 to Enyumre Ashe. Say Omra Park in met you 30-40 Ghana. And measure 2 hours game. And easy. Abrasa 30 Ghana no obetim the part of the money. I pick it back B and I be it go beyond. See, I was going through football psychology and football science. And I miss you and they say, I think Quentin Ama your football no. Fans need to be patronizing. And some of the reasons I had was the fact that yes, poor my day experience. Obiba Park and Niamu Behu Yenya officiating sometimes how I enkoye Ubenya safety na enkoye bibli. But two things are standing out. Stars are omu place on brandy. Any competition album. And these are two of the major things are Emma supporters.
And the password reasons are concerned. Previously.
Yes.
The issue of security. Now I'm focused stadium I bomb.
Yes.
Ebia sabe na social media nya vibrant.
Yes.
Yes. Because na enye to send an internet bi wa unti report.
Yes.
No.
Yes, no.
Obeko stadium no. Sa na ma bosu nyina na oba still na man focus stadium.
The issue is the fact that Richard, one, I've always want to argue with people now sometimes omoka send you league in stars. Yeah, they are betuni. sa comparison na crowd yentimi nyo
International
yedi aye woni o sisi as oko Spain now for penyin bi e wadi 90 years now the net transfer come out da sema di obebo no boy we have Vinny me fa the boot nko training grounds.
It's true.
But ye ne Vinny ye won so that ye di aye betuni. So posterity will come and they will even condone and pamper their own. So we need oko amano ne na say la me yama bobo young no ya dia. Ye nya Joe Hiberta obo league ni boni e wo Chelsea baba kotoko he's still delivering. I will say your son so because ne ye ni. Na hindu amoni ade ye ntimi nya players o mute so mo. Sa na akọ Morocco na mo so mbo 10 times nkofo mo bo mo liga. So one, we need to tell the supporters of Mutifie say if you are talking about talent, ye ntimi nkofa sa di weni mba league ni mbiem. Yes. We must condone and pamper these guys. I was say ye bo we mamba so. Me time na den time bekum Chelsea gina so. Sunday say bo ye po so ye be dwane akopa because obenya so wa kolote. The list goes on and on and on.
That team Copa Africa is super.
But next me di menu akito ane kono ko hua man kono moni ade a Zakaria mo. Na ni agene e wabatuni. And I don't want to even start the argument say we mo nyade. No. So the supporters should understand. And yes, I GF this is kabe room ye be trying to say they are having that mindset talent in mubo. Bet players. There be any players or moko Black Stars from a league kobo. Our liga goalkeeper ko World Cup ko deliver will be open win beam. We must accept this fact. And on our teams in so it will go beyond the teams too. The competition level. And the reason why I make us say put teams in the say we must change the strategy. Maybe the brand league, because one. Yesterday I was in the studios live. And another background Babakache and say or support Kotoko. And she's willing say Kobe Puli Klaus Ama Kotoko, but on your official Ibia. Marketing now go beyond billboards I see in Niema. See our numbers, social media, especially TikTok and Facebook. We've seen people they have their numbers. Our big brands are running to them to run ads. First, now you need TV, Say will be adverts for big companies of which I don't want to mention names. Okay, a certain class of people be. But you me go out to TikTok or be or Sebi. Baby, breakum your friends because you have the numbers. So you bet me and say Kotoko best league. Hana ye wono ye won kofo ase ye bobu wi a omutimi camera ne basa ase mo TikTok e ma numbers ne koso ye for mum na no mum meton league no because they have the following nti wo a wotifi a wo so you have to accept the fact say ye dia ye woni nti players na hu da ro na ye bo you must accept that fact ye be say people 20 na supporter na wotifi no anya the taste for the foreign goods say Premier League ne papa chenwe say na fee kan no ye the way to na abehwa enye ye bebo kanago.
So me see, only the mama no yadre. She call World Cup from 2006, yes. At about 2010. Look at the quality of Black Stars as some boy. Who went to be that to 20? Difference in a song, but the poem. Yes, that time the Muntari, the Kevin, your movie. And I calibrate Chimney and the end of Kudus and to young Black Stars.
And two. Kudus Muhammad. The talent be as a mojaman. Andrew, by a World Cup, you might bomb Kudus Muhammad inti, or be a Kudus Muhammad Ashen. Even just this World Cup, she had a vibe. Asari Chibo Bakwa. Na yet the chance again as 3 goals. It's evident. Asari Chibo Bakupo. So we must accept the fact. Say, yeah, you woni. Ejumaya ye ni. Then times na body be chewa ye meso. Ba ye dia betuni. Ya hu fee, ya hu ye dia betuni. So there's marketing strategy. There was say sano. I was say a fan kofo. I think the news never near day. Yeah, someone new back. I was say a pen kofo. You pay you so on a different level, different branding style. So never be my league in my head. Okay. And two, Sam say you need talent to na ye bobo deny your company. We should convince the people. And I'm gonna for na some na ye dean to the extent say also bapaka un stars. But that team na un stars no team league ni budget. Oh yes, stars na open bi. We want a bit me make your stars. Some confirm bo mu di na bi mu na make your more. So we should accept that fact. So Black Stars, then time 2006 squad the core and the last World Cup in Yepe, but still people were supporting Black Stars. So that is one. Then two, your marketing strategy, yes, you basic billboards, but you who say you want cophobia, they have the numbers, they speak, people listen. Nana Mama Brown Kabi said she's willing to work for Kotoko. You force some of them are not even interested in football. You pull your mom. Then three, the teams. Ankasa also started on Munyo Mujuma. Kasama Yekin, Ghanaian players. You say how almost social media crying vibrant. They should start hiring people over night. Don't want some 20. These are some of the ways I bet me. I'm a league na yede. And yes, sir, sitting on studios, you have videos at all, you post flyers, convincing a person on Nutifia when you be every Chelsea and Liverpool game. No, and yeah, is how we might use different mitigation factors to push the league.
That's a pa Kingsman Kalala and Martin in Kano and Kumo Yemi, a better so at the Amamana Michael Kariki. Yeah, it is easy, Ebequeni. I tell for me that for me. Carrick Miss Row. Season way pad, yeah, Miss Row. I share one. Okay, all right. My beer lines on 3220-835-821-835-2 835-83 Amansa Community Bank PLC. I banga may come for the amount corner quarter besia. Yan the yan so baby account to house on a bema besia do. Now the opposite de biano won't so wait to me at the Ayenti Bra. Now you know, and say. Roman Hill, I say Mahojo Santase, so Fulan Yabia Prono dia to Nyami Adma Monday, at the Konokoho, now on so called Besama Catchos a Belmont to the Ed. It's program beyond and we can say programs be brave, Mr. Aho Nebano, for Belmont, for several more, na Ed, Ubie Kofia, na Odudi, and a de air crow. Makacho say a me or ba, so we shall say Titia, Monim Repa because Utini. Any when you yam tea chance say tetiana so when yam ana etete de kono amuzo have food and I make come for e dia man ho a ya dia enhene odru nipa me ho na begu anim ase pacho tobi fasa sautim na entu wana se emfa emmaw me pacho 0242-955-056 uvramu cosmetic shop bia ebi enso obo ho me mfa me first caller na enin komo hello. Yes sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yes, sir.
Kasafija could be a friend of Kayabua. I did back one may say and tell you fully. It's the place on my home, Kotoko, what home, place you knew I'm creating. Also, me a new place now, I told him, yeah, but past the we say, player, we are more bunny, me come back for him.
Okay. Yes, so yeah, that's so far. Me who say Omo a confirm Abdul Wadi Murad Abranteno free Morocco, a goalkeeper, and I Richard Bodu Agada so many no. Omo confirm Omo then. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That's a comment. That football now. It's solely about 10 points. No. So team may fight sponsorship and fight for sponsor. I don't get out. And when you brand the who but this people no more. And your marketing of crime, the piano and your money is slow. See a easy player for advert and who you are Ghana. See you branding and all media men. Not promoting card and who you are. Then be a the who needs the same brand name and who now me aside by oh video my man I have the first one is about one brand processes now abroad. Saudi Pro League. Yet the Apoto continue to be. Yet Tiano get a double soccer academy. No, Queen Aspo, the Apoto continue to.
That's it. That's a Paima Ubinso. Emrebi. Hello.
Hello, Richardo.
Yes, sir.
Mano Bijo for Achi.
Ejoso.
Michael Carrick, Uncle Cano Kakra. Preseason in Nkoyo.
Miti Grammy, Miti.
Then Nkoyo. Preseason, Sanda Mehamatis, Nkoyo, Uncle Cano Kakra. We'll go with your Richardo, you're very near. But Uncle Cano. Ada Ghana Premier League. Richardo, Sukaka. Oh, your boy need funders. You need players who the Okopa Kaoko and when so just say Ghana who the Okosubia. Did you go no more boy? Your Bob with Chibu and Yachi. Yeah, dear, one year rap. Richardo Mamiko no be bread.
Yeah, that's a Hello.
International Richardo Bakope.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but we Benji, and you Akura, fancy, Sevilla, and a butcher with Jimmy. Now, the Kenny said, Kotokofon be say, I have to show more monkey. Now, if you show me the 8 against a better heart, or one comes in and see has the 10 against 7, a show. Nti Kotokofon, they had to show to a car, 2 separate, 2 players, Gumudia, Mutu Majin, so no moon, play, Alex Basso, what a finisher. We are Japan with a bit of go below. We are Boma with me, sir. We are Bruna with me, go with the feed of 4 Friday. The best symbol to and Yakasa. The man should have for more one confirmed boss.
I share one.
Boss, what are my Benji back?
Let us have Benji. I'm from the school. Hello. Yamiadum.
You're number 1. Santo the Quai. Thank you for your attention. The dear woman. Now, no way for Santo qualifications with you. However, you're making an answer. Bob, now, at the Wapawali. Oh, I know also I think a business that was 1 the minute. Sana has a foot because I have a foot. The boss said, yes. Now, I need like Kappa. No, if I saw that also. Ya bobo ta edime card e dey drag me has a book ya mama dey edime card e hearing the ya kamana edime card yo ye
the shishima no hopa. All right, I'm from the school. Hello.
But I think you come as for who are them oh
Amos
is just like for that what about the papa and somehow and papa the heart of folk and to one say that you know so because papa and you say kind of correct. And there are said because I Bob much because I could supporters. Ebecha what here. You think go supporters are what here. Let us for said because I a prison Saturday. The make afraid the house of Ebe Catholic. And to master all the supporters say Kotoko supporters. Because I day I miss maybe I wish I work on them. You be breaking record or setting record. And to me pass Friday no. You better have to say to papa and you kind of correct. Not certain how you call a young could be maybe yeah. Nti na mese kana kwa yebehye ama nyema konkan ama nyame nka mo bebre
yate edasemos ye fa call afufro. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes sir.
Good morning.
Good morning sir.
Pastor concern police ni o.
Okay.
Me ka so boase. Pastor park ni dey enko.
Adan.
Na phone so gu a most of my commentary kama be na for park. Ni inside ni play bia so a waji dia e kwa go no. Yeah, back in the enko.
Asemo. All right. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Let me adum.
Afoni kinika boss and answer you there. Ni ka kan heart. Your pants. Number Friday. You mo dey farm by ta heart. Me tin fa ko for chika phone. Anye dia most men saka. Am fa ho say ye president. But yeah, they know what them. It's Friday. I go on for. That was it.
And so that's a pass. So now, Manchester United and the whole game normal about 29 minutes. Hull City 1, Manchester United 0. So now you go. Hello.
The great Richardo back up here.
Akwasini.
Oh, I could see what I was going from Ukra. Where Anane,
I asked Anane, right?
Oh, the gun is Papa, Papa, and the man Bobo is Nabaso. What's a match with Nathan and Nadia, Premier League, Kejua. Now, the tennis, I want to go to Kuma, so my Baba Arabe. So, friendly match, only Oblas, as your first and 2, still have no further thing now, cancer with him. I'm about to say, can I want to win it? Who waiting? Oh, team of Alcofa, a spotted the player, so the massive photo of Babayala. And what a big that, you know, quality. You know what to know, I've been in the society, and then it's one place, and in the sea, 5 days. Why they have the first of Babaya and I go with the Nakad, I want to come. Hey, that's going to go over Joe, Mano Cote, Ivana Mama, I have a Muncha Montana. The sister, they have a woo Babaya, why they don't know. And I'm the medium, about to Papa, all I think I know, no matter you. Make it a tattoo, and it was here, the tattoo years, but be far.
All right, Medasi. Namun project ya di mami nami ana ese yi mu yen hwenye mu nyana mu project na. And now there's nothing, your boy. Yabo simple. About 30 minutes. Baby. Last caller now. Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello, Richard.
Yes, sir.
But you're talking big now. Ghana football media. I gave a qua a decline. I say, Ghana football now. Okay, because or buy the record I didn't want to. You need free. Number 2, you need a bet in San Mano. I don't understand only Ghana football because objectively, all cost of the Milano. What is it? A match and a bear 40, a bear 30, a bear 30, a joke in Nano, a scholar in the book of Baba, and Obidi Copper. And the better than Ghana football in Yakomi. It is a kind of money to 20 years. Young Jimmy Quinn, but to cook here or Basham, that's a good talk. And a boy.
That's it. That's it. Young Jimmy for Frefu BB, so now a Bewaha news at also the Amamotilo.
Champion Richardo. No, I tamati the mighty my birthday. I want to know the end. I know when you're 70 years.
Nice.
Tamati the mighty man.
The mighty man.
Na and onaka senya ba elder Samuel Anini, the wife a birthday. Na and Mrs. Monica Anini a birthday. And you know, mommy, happy birthday to your coupon show. No cost one on your cassette. Don't lose a besumbia. And Radi money come and from when you for Dumu. Non sound fanko Adum. Happy birthday to you, Monica Anini.
Hey, that's it for you. Sorry. Be a bit home.
Edikai.
Na 2 no na yepe no.
Edikai. Asidebium. Asante Regional Chairman 1 NPP asem na make. Yera Kuka, I care for you. Or say yemfe fidikesi so. And that obiase, the unifier, the charismatic leader. The Chairman Kuka, Chairman 1 Obebo Ejuma. Tosumi oh me Kuka come gidi the same mo kai mrefi. Tosumi omuso. Aye, me ame bra. Nana Boachi Yadom or the US of A. Or monitor show no yet pa.
Okay. I tell you, sorry, I've been with her.
Richardo.
And it was so at the amount. Abostic.
So,